No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today I have my good friend Tony Malouf in here. He's a former / current BMX professional. He's a little cub-like guy. He kind of reminds me of a little baby bear.
He's my team manager for Fit, too.
And he is now the team manager for Fit Bike Co.
Can we also start off by at least saying his name right? You realize that his last name is not pronounced Malouf. His dad hit me up.
Loves this.
Well, it's a real thing because like 7 years ago we're at a contest. He's like 18 years old. He won the contest in Orlando. We go to the strip club that night. His dad puts me in a headlock. He's like, "Catfish, you're saying my last name wrong." I'm
the
like, how do you say your last name?
exaggeration
Like,
in the impression is
Malouf.
fucking
does not sound like Mark.
It's Malouf.
Completely
and
different
I said,
reservation.
why do kids call Tony last name Malouf?
Oh, can you put this down?
It's just one of those things. So how do you really pronounce your last name?
Malouf.
Motherfucker, you're lying. That's not a true thing. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Obviously, his dad was just fucking with you.
Stop trying to tell him he doesn't know how to say his own last name.
No, I mean,
Dad told me.
there's a number of ways that you can pronounce it. It's not even like really, my grandpa was adopted, so it really it has nothing to do with our heritage whatsoever.
Your dad told me
it's
I'm saying
Lebanese
your
or
last
something.
name
And
wrong.
yeah, well, everyone says it wrong. How do you think they say your fucking last name?
Yankush.
I yank Kush into my lungs. That's easy to remember. Adam Grand Mason. He's
But
a
no,
member of the Grand Masons.
if I went to middle school with you, you probably would call me Tony Malouf.
So in middle school, they called you Malouf.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It wasn't until I went to Woodward when I was 13 where, they would say my name wrong all the time in basketball, football, all that shit. Same thing, announcing, but they'd say Malouf, and we'd be like, oh, it's wrong.
So that's Lebanese?
I guess.
Dad's Lebanese?
Nah, no one
Your
is.
dad.
My grandfather was adopted.
I've never thought about where you come from.
The
or what
OU
you
letters
are.
just say ooh, though. So how do you think it's
Ooh.
off?
Malouf.
It's
I don't
my
agree with
doesn't
that.
make sense to
grandma
me.
says Malouf.
Do you really think that is this the most interesting thing that we could start with? Is
No, Booty Groceries-
Like I said,
Booty
Booty
Groceries-
loves this. He fucking brings
Booty
this up.
Groceries calls you Malouf.
It's
And
so
I'm like,
uninteresting.
How the hell you get Malouf?
I get anxiety from weird things, and when I hear somebody saying somebody's name wrong, and I know that it's wrong, and I know that it's wrong because their dad told me, hey, this is how you say my last name, it gives me anxiety.
It's just
All
because
right.
you dealt with it before.
All right, but,
old,
but
maybe.
facts, my old man now he says Malouf everywhere he goes.
He's given up on it.
No, he loves it because it just sounds better. People
I
love
agree,
to say
I agree,
it.
I
I don't
agree.
fucking know why.
Maybe we should talk about who you are and not what you've been named since.
Have you ever been attacked by an animal?
I just don't think you guys know how uninteresting the pronunciation of his name is as a starter topic.
Yeah.
I hate you,
I'm a
Catfish.
no
You're the worst.
jumper.
You're the worst co-host.
I agree.
Where's Little House Phone?
let's
Where's
talk about his
Robesman?
last
This is BMX, we're weirdos.
Just kidding. But this is possibly the most smoked out podcast we've done in a long time because I'm high as shit.
A lot of weed
I
smoke.
can't even think right now.
You did that.
I did that to
Smoking
myself.
was prior to the podcast. Though.
I
Well,
know.
we should
Normally
probably
smoked out
preface
on the
this by
podcast.
saying because a lot of the No Jumper viewers don't see a lot of BMX riders, so we're early on. Why is this guy interesting?
Because he goes up on the roof of buildings and he jumps off and does a thing where he grabs a seat and he pulls his bars down and he just does a toboggan or sometimes he pedals forward in the air. It's like he's trying to get speed. He doesn't even know that that's not how that works. If you're in the air, it doesn't work.
They're gonna.
I don't even think that matters. It's more so that he's
Explain
like
to the people who do ride BMX. That's a
It's more
ET.
that
That makes total
you're
sense.
from some nowhere place in the middle of America, and you had a goal, and you made it. You're
Oh,
a fucking
No,
team
okay.
he's a
manager for
brilliant
massive BMX.
videographer. That's
Let's
Yeah,
make a narrative about
He
it.
had
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the most prominent BMX media sources from early on in BMX. So
What was
that's
that?
probably I'd say that's
What was
probably
that?
his biggest contribution. Gully's been a pretty
prominent media source. I think of it
well,
more
not
of a
media
crew.
source, but crew. Yeah,
the Tuesdays
he
thing
made
song?
videos.
Totally different
I
things.
almost thought he was going to say
Tuesdays
Midwest
with Miles.
BMX.
So
Yeah.
Malouf and Miles Rogish, they did Tuesdays with Miles, which is what was
That
it?
is a
Every
good point.
single
That was
week they were
very
producing
early on.
videos, and that's where he got good
Okay,
at
let's.
doing all
let's
that.
That was
do
like web
okay,
videos
let's-
before
we're gonna
web
get
videos.
Get
See,
to
this
that.
is what
Where are
was
you
funny
from? Where are
because
you from? Where are you from?
this is
Being
what
led
was
in so
funny
many
because I've
directions.
always
Get in the mic.
this was a long time coming.
Come on, get
Sorry.
in the mic. God
This
damn.
was a long time coming, and
head ass.
yeah, I didn't know what the fuck we were gonna talk about. I was always curious, and it's just funny to see now that we're kicked off with
Your last name.
my last name.
The last
It's so slow
name,
shit.
and then
I feel like
his
people are gonna
involvement with
fucking
Tuesdays with
turn
Miles.
this off already.
But, okay, so where are you coming from?
I'm from Illinois. Mm-hmm. I was born in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. I grew up in Prospect Heights.
Okay, so you're a
So
Chirac savage.
These are suburbs of Chicago,
Right.
I'm a suburban kid. No fucking denying it. But
There's
I
a
never
real
even
big
went.
skate park in
I never
Hawthorne
even went
States.
to the city much. You know, like it just. I started traveling to other states before I fucking even cared about going downtown and like getting into that. But
How'd you get on a bike in the first place?
I don't know, man. I honestly just loved it like my whole life. Like just ever since I rode a bike, you know, like jumping was like fucking involved.
Right.
You know, like riding to the fucking pool in the summer like wasn't enough. So like you hit the fucking curb cuts. Actually, I hit the curb cut once. I had my towel around my neck and it fucking fell. I like boosted a curb cut, you know, on my GT, and the towel fell off and went in my front wheel and locked it. And that was like the first like bike crash I can like ever look back at. But yeah, I always just loved it. And then I used to play indoor soccer, which was fucking like the most short-lived of any of my traditional sports out of all of them. But it was at this place called Poplar Creek Sports Center.
But why indoor? Are you just too much of a pussy to
Fucking-
weather the elements?
No, it's just
Chicago.
it's
Chicago
Chicago.
weather.
It's fucking freezing.
So a lot of people played indoor soccer?
No, I just think it was like my family's like pretty big. I got a lot of cousins and shit, so like I think we just like kind of snuck into like one of their leagues.
Any
Like, it was like
inbreeding?
weird too that it was even like where it was.
No inbreeding though?
Loads.
Okay.
No.
That's a good follow-up question though when you say like you have a big family. It's like
Massive.
no inbreeding, right?
No, I don't think so. So, anyways, you walk in to go to to play soccer, and you fucking just see a skate park. And what he was saying is it's Scrap Skate Park. It's like a legendary skate park in Illinois that fucking has tons of, you know, like you could go back to Dave Mira, like when he
Right.
was fucking 18, sending himself at scrap contests and shit. So I would walk up to the plexiglass and be like, "Holy fuck, I want to be in there." Like, fuck soccer, you know. And it's like crazy
Yeah,
enough,
because
but
the skate park, excuse me, but the skate park was like in this big facility where there's like, to get to the skate park, you had to walk through like this alley, and there's like soccer field, skate park, soccer field,
for
soccer
real,
field.
the skate park now is a soccer field. It's gone.
As it should be. Good. Yeah.
But yeah, so oddly enough, like I got into BMX on my own, like went to dirt jumps and fucking became like somewhat involved. I considered myself a bike rider before I ever ended up there, and just weirdly, like my friend had a birthday party there, and I went there like again when I was like I don't know 11, and I was like, holy shit, this is a place I always wanted to be in here, and like you know, just like any other kid, when you like go there, like I had the fucking butterflies. It was like, it was sick, man. Like. And then I spent fucking like the next 8 winters.
That was it. That was
But so
it.
did you have like a little bike at the time, or what were you riding?
No, I started on a 20-inch bike, but
Oh,
like
okay.
honestly, I was like a fucking dwarf. Like it took me forever to fucking even get where I'm at. Fucking 5'6" if I'm
Was
lucky.
there
Still barely fit on a 20 inch.
I'm a small guy,
Shouts
but
to the little people.
Little people is what they call them now. That's
I
the politically
went
correct term
back
now.
down. I don't know why. So I got a 16-inch, and it like fit me perfect. I was that small, but that's kind of when I started like
Was there- was
getting
there-
bike control and shit.
Right.
Was there a defining moment where
KP
you,
used
where
to
you
give
were
me-
like, I want to ride BMX? Like it was something you saw, or
I
something
honestly
clicking
think,
you?
honestly, to be fair, like I think I like faked it before I was even a rider. Like I used to like tell people I rode, and like
Yeah.
I know now that
Adam
when I
still does
said
that.
that,
Yeah, true.
when I
We all
said
felt that way though. You know, at a certain point, like you wanted to be a BMXer before you actually were.
Yeah, it's
We don't
funny.
talk about that enough.
I
It's
like,
true.
you know, now like working for Fit, this big bike company, we're trying to think about like kids that buy bikes at that
Yeah.
age, and like I go back and like I'm like reminiscing of how I felt at that age, like looking through a GT catalog and not giving a fuck, like Mike Parenti, you know, who the fuck, you know, like who would know him now, but like
But that's-
I didn't know who he was then, and the only
Right.
reason I did was because of that catalog, and that's what makes me think when we're working now. But like, yeah, when I was a kid, fucking. I don't know. I just because I had a BMX bike, basically, I would tell my friends like, yeah, I BMX. You
I
know?
feel like you actually had an identity, right?
Yeah, I don't
Was
know.
there a good scene around you?
Yeah, definitely. A huge scene, actually. Like a massive scene that I like didn't really know was there until years later when I, you know.
But you weren't running into all these people at the skate park, or what was the skate park scene?
Oh
like?
no, they were right in front of me. Like the reason why I even because like I said, I went to the skate park. Actually, I kind of dove right into BMX because my skateboard career was super short.
Ooh.
But I did skate for like a year, and I met a bunch of kids that skated, and I kind of switched to kind of like, you know, fit in.
Right.
But I moved at the time too. See, I went to a Catholic school my whole like, you know, grade school career. And when we moved at the junction before middle school, so I was like, I want to go to a public school, you know?
Right.
And went to a public school, met all these skaters, and was just like, fuck, I'm gonna skate. And then like I started going to the same skate park, but on my skateboard, and fucking all the skateboarders sucked.
Yeah.
They all sucked. And I look back at it now, it was a BMX park. It was mainly BMX riders, but that's why it's like Koji Crafts flying in front of me doing tuck no-hander to late no-footer backflips over the box, and then the skateboarders like can hardly drop in. So it was like, fuck this, you know, like it didn't inspire me to skate anymore. So I picked back up my bike and shit.
So you just slowly became like a fucking total and complete skate park tech wizard for a while there, huh?
Sorta. I mean, it took fucking ages like to even know, like, you know, like I said, I was just like kind of thinking I was a bike rider.
You were so little. Do you feel like that held you back? Like for a while, you felt like you couldn't even get good at riding because you were small as shit. You're a pretty small guy currently, but when you were young, you were saying you're like an actual small person.
Yeah, I think
Campus is also in the little guy club. Yeah.
Offensive.
Over here, me and Reed, tall as fuck.
Tall as fuck.
Aloof.
Hey, I'm holding down for the middle size
Height,
guys
whack.
out here.
Your height, whack. Me and Reed, tall as fuck.
Yo, but see, some things are easier on a bike when you're smaller. Like people who knows me in real
Yeah,
life,
you look at
like,
fucking Ian Morris, watch him fall on something, and you're just like, oh yeah, he just turns into a little cannonball when
Plus
he's
how
falling.
Tony can make like a little spot look giant because
Yeah.
he's little.
I can make a decent height ledge look like it's
That's
fucking.
what- yeah, you read, like-
it's, like,
And Tony's jumping off
microscopic.
like 2-story roofs too, so it's just crazy. It looks like an
Yeah.
ant jumping off the Empire State Building.
Or no, Mega Man.
All right, so you're
You remember
in
Mega Man?
Chicago,
No.
suburbs of
Remember-
Chicago, riding the skate park. Where do we go from there?
I don't know. I'm not really trying to fucking story tell, man. You guys got some
20
questions?
years
No,
later,
that's
he's
what we're here
smoking a
for.
wood.
No, you have a really good story. You really have a good story.
All right.
If you say so.
All right.
I was seriously fuck each one of you.
Because Cavendish always wants to be positive
you
and
do- you do,
motivational
you're
and
good.
shit, which I guess is all right.
Well, no,
he does
what
have a good story
motivates
because
you?
He's an amazing
What
rider.
inspires you?
He's an
Yeah,
amazing
that's
rider,
it.
but his passion for BMX also comes through in his filming.
Well, he's also been a pro for like a very long time, and he's
That's what I'm
in
trying to
BMX
get
for real
this
long,
all
so it
right,
kind of
yeah.
makes sense.
Shout out to
I'll-
Sputnik. Sputnik for life,
I'll alliterate.
dude.
I'll go into it a little bit.
Yeah, let's walk us through.
I remember you from Sputnik. That was the
right.
first
What was your
time I
first
saw
sponsor?
Sputnik.
Enemy BMX.
Fuck.
Enemy BMX.
I don't know if any of you guys remember that.
How's that?
Shout out to Russia.
It's a clothing company
Sputnik.
in Illinois, you know, like fucking I think everybody's like first sponsor, like a local homie, right? I don't know.
Some loser.
But no, I mean, from there,
I'm
man,
just kidding.
fucking, I just started riding, and like I was saying, I went to a public school for 6th grade. I got kicked out and got sent back to a Catholic school.
Why'd you
which,
get
like,
kicked out?
It's fucking retarded, dude. Everything about it.
Fucking a
is,
retard? Damn.
No.
They should have kicked you out.
I mean, like I
Should've
look back
buried
at
you
it.
out
I
of
look
school.
back at it now, and it was just like so fucking retarded.
What
like,
kind of student were you?
never a good student.
Did
Like,
you hoop?
Did I play basketball? Hell yeah, of course I did.
Oh yeah, we all did.
I didn't know he said hoot or hoop.
You hoop?
I don't know. That was some weird
I
new
just
hip-hop
figured-
term.
figured
Please
that's
stop
like-
vlogging me.
You know, if like Grant
Yeah,
asked me
Brandon's
that question,
ruining it.
do you hoop?
You hoop? Yeah, yeah. You like that?
Hell no, hell no.
Definitely not what
You hoop? So you didn't hoop?
No, I played basketball, but like I honestly I got fucking skills.
Spudwell.
But the height, you know, like
Yeah.
at a certain point, what the fuck? Like they're all these kids like turning to Reed, they're fucking 6'2" in like 7th grade.
Oh yeah, you're 6'4", you're the
I'm
smallest
done.
guy on the team.
I was starting like in 6th grade, all of a sudden 7th grade hits like don't even make the team.
Right.
So, you know, all that shit. I played basketball up until 7th grade. Actually, I think in 7th grade too, a bunch of me and my homies, we actually made a volleyball team. It's fire. But, like we started it as like a fucking joke, and then like we were like kicking ass. So we'd just go to these volleyball games and we'd wear heinous attire and we'd just murk all the other schools.
Really?
Yeah, it was tight.
None of the other schools in my district had like guys volleyball teams because we tried to bring that up a couple times because we thought it was fun. But yeah,
Well, see, that's
wouldn't let us
fucked
do
up.
that.
That's fucked up. Everybody's over here talking about the men and women getting paid differently. What about volleyball?
right?
Well, I think we
real.
just
Don't
hit on
even
something very
have a
important.
men's
We
league.
should form a
That's
men's
fucked up.
rights activist
For real.
league here. Yeah, stand up for our rights.
And then I did gymnastics in high school.
Really? See, I'm very intrigued by that. What was
Yeah.
what was that like? Do you like it?
Well, like my mother's side of her family, like my uncle who's deceased, he
Can
was
you guys
actually
like stop and pay attention, you fucking
I'm
assholes?
listening. He's over here.
But it's very distracting. Stop filming for real.
no,
Focus on
sorry.
him.
He was
That's what
doing
this is
something
about.
funny.
I'm listening.
Jesus Christ.
my uncle was like an Olympic gymnast, and my mother was a gymnast.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
So
You have big bulbous shoulders,
What kind of
bowling ball
gymnastics?
shoulders.
I really don't know. My uncle was like training for the Olympics. He's on the American team, but he never got to compete. He died training for the Olympics when he was 22.
What? From like a heart attack or something?
No, he broke his neck.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's
Not to
scary.
not to go dark on us,
That
but
is dark.
But yeah, so like it was weird, like especially when I started riding BMX, my grandparents especially like used to kind of compare it to him because
Right,
like
yeah.
when he was doing
a lot more high risk.
men's gymnastics back in that day, I guess wasn't like fucking accepted as much, you know. So like my grandpa looked at it like probably like my dad was looking at BMX. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Wasting your time or something.
Totally crazy thing to be involved
But
with.
he also, you know, used to go to like France and Germany and all this shit, and I'd be going on trips like that and come back, and my grandma would be like, "Oh, you're just like," and like, oh, it's crazy because it's her fucking son that's gone. So,
We've interviewed quite a few BMX riders that have said that they had a gymnastics background. Like Gabe Brooks, I think, said he went to Russia when he was a little kid to do gymnastics.
Stevie too, right?
Stevie, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stevie definitely used to do it back in the day.
Oh, I didn't know
There's a
that.
few of them for sure.
Steve can like 360 backflip off of it.
There's a lot of parallels.
Stevie is swole.
Excuse me, there's a lot of parallels.
Johnny Ice, please shut up. Shout out Johnny Ice.
Stop peeing on things, Johnny.
He's peeing all over fucking LaShawn and fucking Trev over there. So, yeah, gymnastics. That's cool.
It was short lived. I really only did it in high school so I could do it during gym class.
Right.
Sick.
So then when did you fully dedicate yourself to BMX? When did you realize that this was like your thing, that you were a BMX
Oh,
rider?
definitely by like 8th grade. 8th grade. I missed my 8th grade graduation to go to Woodward. So,
Your graduation was in the middle of the summer?
no, I went to the first week of Woodward and I just missed. I never like actually was there.
What's Woodward?
It's a fucking BMX camp and a gymnastics camp.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't fucking cross over, do both.
Maybe I did.
Wait, but 8th grade graduation, was
Tell
that a
you
big?
not to.
Is that a big graduation?
No,
No, right.
but
It's called a promotion.
in fairness, I didn't graduate high school, so I've never really ever graduated anything.
Why did you graduate high school? Don't you care about education?
Why did you graduate high school?
Hell no. I don't know. I just dropped out.
You were just riding too hard? How old were you?
I was 17 when I dropped out. I mean, I was riding a lot and traveling a lot already, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I just was like truant. I was ditching a lot of school, so this is just weed. There's a spliff in here. I don't want this.
Religious beliefs? I'm good on that. Little weirdo spliff. Or a little weirdo wood.
We'll have this. Thank you.
Also, shout out to Tony for rolling the smallest backwoods known to man.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna even pass this to y'all.
there's a lot of weird guys out there. I know some weird blunt rollers out there in this world.
What's your feeling on weed now that you've been out here, living out here, and just got legalized?
It's the same as always. It's just good.
Shit, it ain't changed.
I've got no problem with weed.
I say you were probably
I'm
you
quite
were one
fond
of
of
the
weed.
first weed guys in BMX, I'd say.
From your generation. Brian Foster told me he was the original weed pro.
Well, I mean, Brian
No.
Foster wasn't putting clips of Westcott smoking.
yeah, but
blunts
people
in
knew
a
he was
video.
high. It was
Yeah,
more
we
subtle
definitely were putting hella
Tony
weed
was
in.
like very putting weed in your face back in the day. I feel like.
Yeah, we got
Put
a
his
lot of
dick in
hate
my
for
face.
it too. It's tight.
When did you get into filming? How'd you get into filming?
Or weed. Let's keep talking about weed.
Weed's fine.
I thought you were going to
tight,
say
Catfish.
weed. I'm
Stop
like, what are
being
you
old.
filming? What a strange answer to the end
What
of
kind of weed you smoke, dude?
I actually don't know. I'm not really like one.
the Same. I don't
The
give a fuck.
$20 ace in Long Beach.
Yeah, I buy whatever's around and
Put it in a
reasonable.
wood. I didn't think that there was like weed that was bad enough for me to really give a fuck until I went to Argentina, though.
That's why like the
That
20
Black Death.
the
Yo,
$20 a G
literally
memes and
dirt.
shit are like they're
Fuck with
funny, but
vegan
like that shit's
50-50
not like
and
that. Does that even
fucking moon
exist?
Yo, you shouldn't remember in Scotland? Remember getting that shit there?
Oh, man.
You
Yeah,
get it back to your
European
house
weed
and
sucks.
You literally have to trim it up.
Oh, God.
Like you would get back a pack and you'd trim the whole entire thing up. And then you'd have a bag of
Yeah.
Put it in a wood. Who cares
You ever
what
got
it is?
weed here and you're like, this is some straight Scotland weed or like some UK weed?
Once in a while, but very
Yeah.
rarely. I've seen it in other places in the world, but definitely
Mike,
Scotland is-
Do you have a favorite company?
Eddie Baker sold me some shake.
No,
Eddie
I don't.
Baker sold me
That's what
such
I
a
mean.
whack ounce.
Back.
I hardly like give
Yeah.
a fuck if they even give you like an option of like,
Yeah.
Are you strictly
fuck
Green.
Whatever.
Whatever it is.
Strictly
Yeah.
backwoods only?
Kinda, man. Yeah.
What happened? You were Swisher gang
You
for
won't
a
even
while.
hit the lightest
Oh
of the
man,
split.
I was Swisher Gang for so long by the $60, but
Deeper than that, dude. Remember how many we brought to Scotland?
Mm-hmm.
You brought like 100,
Mike.
200. I think you brought 200 swishers to Scotland. Rolls
Well,
up
For how long? A month?
I
maybe
know, we were there for like 3 months, something
What's
like
Scotland like?
100.
Cold and wet.
What'd you say?
So rainy.
So Adam likes pussy.
Okay, so let's talk about. Okay, so you becoming a real BMX rider and stuff. What were you doing that you decided that like? When did you start traveling all the time? I guess is the main question.
Like I said, that like led into like me basically being truant. Is because like I would go on like a little trip to like Changa contest or something with like a bunch of
Shout out to
dudes,
Ohio.
straight up. And like shout out the Midwest because like I had no idea what I was like involved in back then, but like was so close to like tons of shit.
Right.
You know, Milwaukee Four Seasons was like an hour north. So after a while, we started getting our license. Instead of our parents driving us to Scrap, Hoffman Estates, we'd be taking our cars to Milwaukee. And then it was like, go to fucking Madison and then go to fucking Cleveland. Everywhere, like, you know, we started traveling. Like, fuck being home.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, basically,
that
like,
bug when you're a
why
kid.
else do you think I was like, fuck school? You know, like,
Yeah.
I'd go back to school and, like, none of those kids knew what I was doing.
You
like,
already feel like
outside of
you
that
feel like
shit.
you're a lot older than them all of a sudden because you have so
Fucking
many more
totally.
experiences.
Yeah, and
right?
I was traveling with guys that are like, fuck, probably my age now, you know, and like I was like,
And as a bike rider, you really learn to live off the land. Like you don't need somewhere to stay. You're staying on somebody's floor.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
sleeping in a
that's-
corner.
that's not
Yeah.
the concern. You're more or less just like, where are we going? Where are we riding? You know,
Living.
this is like before I was even like, I didn't even care about fucking who rolled the blunt, where the weeds at. I was just like,
so worth,
let's
like,
fucking go
whatever.
ride.
When I was 18, you could have asked me to go on a BMX trip with anyone, and I would have said yes, which is really funny because now it's almost nobody. There's a very small list of people that I would want to like do a bike trip with, you know?
But what's that like being, a teenager, being surrounded by older dudes? You are all doing the same shit. What's that feel like to be like, okay, I'm doing the right thing? You know, like this is my shit. Like you know that okay, I'm into riding. This is what I want to do.
What?
Are you guys on drugs right now?
No, me and Reed just started clowning for a second. Rephrase that, or
Because you were saying surrounded by
One more
dudes. Were you
time.
guys like kind of thinking it was like a gangbang
One more
thing?
time?
That's what I was
I'm just
thinking.
saying, like, at a young age, when you realize, okay, like, I'm into riding, when you realize that this is my shit, I'm gonna do this for a long time. What's that like as a young dude, knowing that, okay, like, I'm with these older dudes, this is what I want to do for a long time. Not even like thinking about like sponsors or for a living, like, just passion wise.
Don't know. It's like I can imagine it just being like anybody hanging out with older people. You just feel cooler because you're like, oh, I'm like with these. They're doing cool shit. Your friends your age don't do. You're just
They
like,
understand the world
you're
better
fucking
than me.
hyped.
You know?
Yeah, they're like fucking. They're like 18, and I'm like, these
Who
dudes
would
are
you- like, give
these
yourself
fucking
a head
dudes.
start
These
on
guys
that.
know it all. You know
Who
what
were
I
the
mean?
dudes
Like,
you rode with? Shout
to be dude, the first dude who ever like drove me around was this dude Paul Miller, and it's crazy because I had a huge box jump in my front yard that I built because I helped like build that scrap, and my father was an architect, and I used to kind of like want to follow his footsteps, so I was like into that shit. I built this big ass box jump in my front yard, and these dudes used to just drive by it all the time, and fucking wonder, and one day they just stopped because I was out there, and they're like, "Oh, what's up? How you doing?" They just stopped by.
Right.
And I'm like, whatever, I'm riding my ramp. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to go swim at the pool down the street, and then we're going to go ride Park Ridge Skate Park. You want to come? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
How old were you?
So, like, I don't know, man. I was like fucking 12. Like, fucking
And these were grown-ass dudes?
so young. No, they were like 16.
Oh, okay.
But they drove. But I think they were like just that age. But to me, they seemed like adults,
Right.
And it's funny as hell. We're like down the street, we're floating in the fucking pool, and they're just like, "So damn, that box is sick. Like, what do you do on it?" I'm just like, "Oh, fucking no can. I 3 it." They're like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah, fool. What do you think, dude? What about?" They like didn't believe
You
me,
guys
you know.
have a box jump just to do a fly out?
Well, I don't know. I guess they just thought like maybe my dad bought it.
Yeah,
and
like your dad
fucking-
builds you a ramp.
and
He doesn't
I'm
know
just,
what the
like,
fuck to
plop
build.
into the deck, But
Yeah.
like, no. So like, we went to the park later too, and like, I never even been to that park, but I actually like got like a sick photo that ended up in like a zine that like I never knew of. So
Until
like,
way later, you found out about it.
no, it's just like I met these dudes that were just like outside of my crew,
Right.
So they like took us to Park Ridge. This dude that like is outside of their crew, like saw me riding and was just like, "Yo, let me take a photo of that." And it was like a no-foot can, fucking of course, and over this little box. And I'm just this wee fucking guy. I was on a 20-inch then, but
Were you making videos from real early on? You start filming yourself early.
yeah, I don't think like at that point. Well, yeah, definitely. Like I said, when I had the little skateboard era thing, like with my mom's camera, we were making videos, 100%, like jackass videos.
Really?
Oh yeah, we would do little skits. So I was making videos. But to me, they never really ended up like as a full production. It was like super hard to edit back then, you know, like
Right.
on the with the tapes and shit.
That's
like,
how you were doing it all the way back then?
That's
Holy
how we were
shit.
doing it.
VCR?
Yeah. So like the first video I attempted to make was called Midwest Mayhem,
Uh-huh.
and it was a VHS. Like, you know, that's how I made the whole thing.
Right.
Well, give me some songs on the soundtrack.
Ooh.
Fuck. System of a Down. Definitely.
Wow. That's
Yes.
tight. You weren't a hip hop head yet?
Hip hop back then, I mean, it would have been like fucking Biggie or like Coolio.
Coolio. That's tight. Me too.
Coolio?
No, that was like me at a
Probably
certain point in my
Coolio
life, yeah.
first, and then I got into like Biggie and Puff Daddy and Mace, like fucking heavy. And Bone Thugs. That was like the start, and then like DMX came out and shit.
DMX came out
and
and flipped
Snoop.
the whole
I remember
game of
when
being
my
hard as hell.
shout out Kenny Reed. Kenny Reed showed me Snoop, and I mean like he is Snoop Dogg this day. He's this little white kid from fucking Arlington Heights. He's not little. He's a grown man now, but he's like, yeah, what's up, town? Every time I see him, he's fucking. He is Snoop Dogg.
Shout out your crew. Who else was in your crew back then?
Less crew.
Back then, I mean, I'll shout out my whole crew: B-Rad, Grange, and Pasco. That's like the PH crew. Those dudes don't ride, but that squad, those are fucking my homies.
But so you started filming right away. When did you get a VX? When did that happen? Or like how did it slowly evolve for you into like a more serious thing?
I actually, the first VX I ever have is the VX I filmed with today.
Really?
Yeah.
You had the whole time.
I bought it brand new. It's mine. No one's ever used it but me.
Oh, okay. But you bought that in what year?
Fuck. I think I just got on Sputnik, so it would have been like around like 2006.
Okay.
It's like 10 years now.
What's a VX? There's a lot of people that
It's a fantastic
Prehistoric.
3 CCD fucking digital DV camera that was made by Sony. It's a fucking beast. It's a one of the first prosumer cameras that like fucking changed the digital video game.
Wasn't it invented to film like the Iraq War or something like that?
Something for
That I don't
It
know.
was definitely military based.
Or didn't it used to be like the preferred porn camera? I've always heard too, which is kind of cool to think.
was
No,
just
I think
like-
the VX was the first camera that was used to film the John F. Kennedy
Like
assassination.
looking
That is
back
impossible,
too, like
yeah.
I've noticed it in a lot of movies and shit too. Just like
Yeah, they use them
Back-
as
like,
props
just
now,
background and
like
just,
crazy. You'll see them as
second
props,
angle.
like someone's holding
Jackass
it.
is all VX. Like
Because it looks like a, like a pro camera.
Yeah.
You see, it's weird. You still see them as like props in movies.
Looks like a
It's
Game
fucking-
Boy when you think about it now.
They're sick. They're just, it's such a beast. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. For me, it was just like the first thing that was like, oh, it's like a not that expensive camera, but it looks like you have a legit ass camera.
But 2006, it was the camera, and it's funny because anybody who's still holding
Yeah,
on to
you-
it to some
you-
extent, it's like you got like a record player in your house. You
Yeah,
know?
that's
No, I have
definitely
mine
like
still as an antique.
that's definitely like your generation was like, yeah, we just need a camera with a handle. But like when that thing came out, it was actually like the crispiest shit you could fucking shoot.
Yeah.
It was fucking.
2006 was that age. Like 2008, 2009 was when people started to go HD.
No,
Or no, it was a
I
little
got
later, right?
I got mine. Yeah, I got mine when it was fucking definitely late, But like, it was still HD was not really a thing that people were like
Yeah,
fully
seriously.
grasping.
I remember like HD was like, oh, we can't film at night. Like that was the thing with HD cameras for a while. Like Chad Shack, he was like, oh, we can't film at night with HD. But I when did that stop? Because that seems like it's completely changed. where it's great at night
DSLRs,
now, yeah.
they like
It's
kind of.
really hard to explain to people if you say, here, this is a video filmed on a VX, this is an HD camera. How do you explain why it's better to watch something on a VX? To our non-VMX.
Not better, it's just different.
This is like a huge
me get
thing,
that-
too,
that
in, like
fucking
BMX and
ashtray.
skateboarding is like using the VX to like people maintain.
Get in the
that.
mic.
There's like this.
Read, Mike.
Closer.
There's like this crew of people who love the VX, and I'm one of them. And it's crazy that it exists. I don't know why it looks so good, but it's like the framing and everything. Like it suits skateboarding and BMX so perfectly with like as you move and I don't know. It's
If
Square.
If you,
VX has 4:3, which is square, and HD is 69.
yeah, it's
Rectangle.
the ratio.
The
but
re-
like,
you don't
recta-
fit in there as good.
Rectangle
um,
adds a lot of bullshit to the outside of what you don't need to be paying attention to. in
It's
the
just
play.
for why it was like the switch from like square TVs to like widescreen shit. Like that's what fucked it up. Because then they're like, all right, now I gotta go to HD and then it got a little
Yeah.
Yeah.
crispier,
Imagine
which
all
is
our
right,
all our laptops were just rectangles,
squares.
Like-
and
Just square
everything had
pieces, though?
stayed square. That would have been tight.
But if you were
I like
were
it
like a
better.
complete like outsider and you weren't thinking like you didn't know about
Oh, yeah.
VX, SD, HD like that, like I would put it as simple as like because if you don't know much about photography, like you'd listen to a photo geek would just rant on and on about fucking film over digital, and to me it's like the same thing. Like VX isn't it's a digital tape. but it's still just a totally different, older, outdated technology that like you can mimic it, but it's like, to me, that's a fucking oxymoron. Like, why shoot HD and then filter it to look like a VX? That retarded to me, but people do it, but
you do film HD now. When did you make the switch?
I've had an HD camera for fucking 6 years or something, you know.
Edit, like the first
No,
full length HD you did besides Mata's thing.
No, he did an HD edit with Eric Elstrand in Tulsa when I was like, that was like 2012.
Truth. That was the same, yeah, and that was the same time when his handlebar promo came out, so you could look either of those up, like the actual Elstrand edit. But yeah, I mean, I was making HD edits like here and there, freelance for companies and shit. And outside of BMX, I was using it, you know, to make a living
You
for a
did
while.
second angles too, like a lot of your second angles. You do
Yeah, like Young
Yeah.
and Retarded was
cut to
HD that you
just
cropped.
sick as fuck.
I feel
Yeah,
like
there's
that's
a ton-
almost your
yeah.
signature in BMX, like
VX with HD.
VX to cut HD, long lens,
Shit,
very,
it's fun.
Yeah.
very soft
It's
color,
a
like
process,
Yeah, yeah.
man.
it's good.
Everybody's got their thing, you know. Like I remember when Fully Flared came out, and that video was like some fucking, it was like revolutionary, and everyone was like, they're mixing HD and VX.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
When there's such a big beef about VX versus HD, and now the content comes out so fast, it doesn't fucking matter.
I mean, it was just for a while. It was like there was a bunch of people who were holding on to VX, and it's like, why not? You keep
If you
holding
put
on to it if you want to.
watch
Yeah.
VX footage on a phone, which everything's on a phone now,
Yeah.
the shit looks fucking money.
Yeah.
But it's just not for everyone. It's the same things like when Instagram came out, it was like supposed to like they had all those filters and borders, so it looked like a fucking Polaroid, and everything was like it was
And people
supposed
just
to
got over
it was
that.
supposed to be all vintage,
Yeah.
you know, and like it's the same thing. Like people fucking were trying to emulate like an era, and like that's why people still shoot with that camera because they're not emulating shit.
Yeah.
They're using it's like. You know, it's like why you see people like photographers now are running around with little point and shoot cameras, and you're like, that thing takes
Instavid
good.
is, like, the
that
closest
takes
thing
good
to
photos, and
photography.
they're like, this thing takes the best photos, and it's like some fucking old 35 millimeter camera they found at a thrift store.
Right.
But
Well, that's the weird thing is that
it's all a preference.
there's
I don't
so
know.
much high quality shit available now that I think that like you see a lot more people adopting like a stance where they appreciate lower quality stuff as well. Like you know, if you're a photographer, you can't appreciate
You fucking
iPhone
kidding
photography,
me? The
right?
standard now for fucking quality of media. You fucking joking?
Okay, exactly though. That's what I'm saying
Fuck
though.
off.
What?
Just it's all terrible.
Do you think that the quality in like BMX media has gone downhill like crazy?
Shite.
Well, when you're talking about vlogs included in that, but that's what I'm saying is like people making those are like
Vlogs
they're
are
adopting like an
It's all
anti.
getting mixed together. That's
But don't you think like
Vlogs,
real
vlogs,
videos and
people
stuff have
all
gotten a
getting
lot
mixed
better?
together.
They don't
Vlogs
care
are
as much about
definitely like distracting everyone from that because now everybody's just trying to hop on the fucking bandwagon
Mm-hmm.
and that's whack because now if you're late you just look like a loser like right off the bat.
I've seen some failed vlogging careers, yeah.
Exactly, but shout out to anybody that stuck with it and fucking made a thing of it because that's really all it takes
Mm-hmm.
is not to get discouraged and to keep going. And but I just media wise too, like it bums me out that I think everybody sees how bad everyone's shit is, and then it leaves like no room for anybody to be like, let's do better.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of like, oh well, they made some fucking, they covered a contest
You
and
can get
didn't
away with the
and didn't
fucking
put a fucking song, and it's like, just I know it needs to be out, but fucking, I miss the old days,
No,
Yeah.
but like it's almost like I was talking about this earlier. Like the people have spoken. Like the people of the
Right.
internet have determined that this is what is important. Is what's interesting to them. Like the classic BMX video with music to it of just riding.
Mm-hmm.
People don't care about that.
The well
I'd
edited,
rather have
tight little
somebody,
2-minute thing
You're wrong.
versus
You're
the 15
wrong.
minute
This is-
vlog.
this- well, this is what's-
The numbers speak for it.
It's
yeah.
not. It's not a mystery. It's like you're talking that like, you're just talking numbers. There's not enough BMXers to get those numbers. Other people watch vlogs. That's the difference.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have to be
So
willing
like,
to adapt to change. Adam and I were just talking about that.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
all changing
3
for
years
sure.
ago, fuck it. It's just a little bit.
Did you grab some
It'll go
paper
back in-
towels?
it'll go back in there.
Somebody grab some paper towels.
No,
Stop.
3 years ago, if you any of these guys on this side of the table put out an edit,
Such a
it's
retard.
got to be 3 minutes or less because nobody's gonna want to watch that. 2016, it's all fucking B-roll because it's all vlogs. You got to make your shit as long as possible because people want to see you in the car. They want to see you drinking coffee.
Well,
Yeah.
it's taken over. It's like a TV show now.
Sorry, I apologize.
It's like a TV show.
Yeah, it's not about the
You know,
riding, it's about the
not-
personality.
It's
Yeah.
like vlogs have taken over the TV show. Because it used to be something like people could tune into every single day, and that's what YouTubers are doing now. They're just like, if you put shit up every day, then
It's
you
a
can,
real,
check in every
it's a
day
real
and, like,
channel.
Follow someone's,
Everybody
like,
could start their own network with fucking.
And you can pay
Just
attention
like
to
that.
just one
And
guy
earn money off it, too.
one guy
Yeah.
that you like, as opposed to like watching some weird ass sitcom that somebody dreamed up. You're just watching Adam LZ, and you're just, I'm watching this guy, and I'm just seeing what he's doing. You're watching Fousey. You just.
Either way, let's
but-
Yeah,
fucking.
but see something like Brandon,
vlogs.
that's gonna be exciting to see where his YouTube page goes,
Right.
Because he's gonna do vlogs. Then, but when he puts out an edit, where's that gonna go? Everybody's gonna be into it. I'll stab
What are
you.
you guys talking about?
Hey, I brought something for the rope gang. I got nerds ropes for.
I love these.
Hey,
Holy
shout
shit,
out
this is
Colleen for
ingenious.
the
Yeah.
plug on these.
What a time to introduce these.
I was gonna bring these out right at the beginning, but I fucking
I wouldn't
forgot.
normally eat a bit of rope, but I mean rope gang, so
You're gonna eat rope.
Oh, I fucks with these rope things. Yeah, I love rope. I eat rope all the time.
And now we're not talking about vlogs anymore, which is good.
Me and
No,
Tony,
that's good. Yeah.
me and Tony both sat in his kitchen and ate like 3 of these each to the face. And
Facts.
just
Tony
smoked
was like,
blunts,
I'm
one night.
gonna bring rope. So if they start talking about vlogs, I can just bait them with the rope.
Let's talk about vlogs.
It was one of those. It was one of the things.
Do you know what vlog you're gonna do tomorrow? Do you know what you're
Fuck
talking
that.
about tomorrow?
Yeah.
Vlogs
You
have
already-
nothing to do with our.
Well, I know what thumbnail I'm
What
using
do you-
because I
well,
got
now we can ask
Brandon
him,
to take a
what are
picture of me
your
with my
thoughts on
cat
vlogs?
in the weed.
They're dope. They're not for me. You know.
Stop
like,
lying.
I do think like. I think that certain people are good at them. I think certain people get into it for the wrong reasons, but. You know, it's just like fucking too whack of a topic. Like everybody's fucking chasing it right now in BMX, and it's a fucking joke. Like, I think I think that like it's definitely blowing up and like everywhere. Like it's becoming a new thing, but it's not fucking new. You know, like people have been making money off YouTube forever. Girls sitting in front of their laptop, fucking talking to their photo booth. So like, people that are trying to hop on it now, fucking good luck.
But is part of your beef that you see it as like brands are all of a sudden not as interested in paying for like high quality like video content, like traditional music, tightly edited, nicely made, skate video esque kind of stuff that you make, like that Fit
No.
project that you fucking killed earlier this year?
I just don't think that, you know, it's like they look at the view count and everybody, you know, like wants to just keep up. And I mean, that's like you said, it changes. So you have to like stay relevant, you know, but it's not hard to do. BMX wise, you know, I'm not speaking fully like about YouTube in general. I think that you could work on like a certain amount of projects while also doing vlog style content, behind the scenes, whatever, you know what I mean? It's a lot to fucking juggle, but that's just how I would approach it, you know? But like, then again, anybody could fucking be like, watch a vlog and be like, hey, I want to do this, you know what I mean? And then it's the people that go out and do it and stick with it that really fucking make it. And that's why I say fucking, you know, kudos to them, because that's a fucking hard thing to do, to like not be discouraged, like you said, the dudes that fail. But fucking, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I would have done it a long time ago. Like we like he said, we've been making videos a long fucking time, and we used to get in front of the camera and talk and fucking do all that shit, you know. But like, this is not for us. It's more or less we like to, I don't know. I'm not gonna down, like, no offense, but like I looked at like, if you would look at like Hicks vlogs compared to his real videos that he makes, that's like taking a step back. That's what I'm not gonna do. Is like, I like still to move. You know, you can obviously get better at making vlogs, but I think like every time I make a video, I fucking get better, and I'm not just gonna like degrade and go down to making fucking 17-minute videos of raw footage
You gotta maintain the
of
quality,
my
man.
day.
Sure.
You know, like yeah, I'll do some. I don't know. Like I just don't think I'm important enough to be fair too. I don't. Fuck. And I'm also kind of like to stay private, to be honest. So
Takes a certain kind of person who want to document their whole fucking life.
yeah, it's not for me.
Real fag.
Let's move on.
Faggot like myself.
Hey, so
Talk about this shit way too much in real life. Let's not make my fucking podcast.
Not trying to commandeer, ask questions or anything, but like, after your long BMX career, you're finally now the
No,
TM
we gotta
of
talk
Fit.
about that.
Or
How'd you get on
actually, yeah,
BSD?
let's do like backstory
Yeah, I have
and
to get to that.
TM of
You're a
Fit.
piece
Like,
of shit in Chicago. How did you?
You want me to know, rope? Fuck it.
First get recognized.
Catfish
Love
knows,
it.
because Catfish has been, like he said, he's been yelling my name over a microphone for a real long time. Because before I was like a ramp rider, I did a lot of contests, shit like that. But you know, over time, like I said, because the Midwest had a scene, and like there was dudes like Chad DeGroot was the guy that really like kind of got me into the BMX industry.
Right.
So he sponsored me for UGP, which is a company that's no longer around. But
Shout out to UGP.
that's
R.I.P.
just really when it went down. And honestly, I listened to the podcast you did with Ronnie and Cher, and it was fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I learned even more shit about that brand. That like
First ever action sports clothing brand.
I never rode for it when Ronnie owned it. You know, so like really interesting to hear that.
Same with him. You guys both were posers that came in at the end when it was bought up by some old
that
Korean lady or
fucking
whatever.
Dude, that company
You
sucked.
rode for wakeboard company, UG.
Oh, wait, no, time out. Have you
Hey, we
ever
were
had a
getting paid.
sponsor that has given you a baseball card with your picture on it? Have
Yes.
you?
No, but I have
Pops.
a sponsor that
Pops.
gave me a jersey with my name on it, so that's pretty tight. So
I have a
fuck
sponsor
you.
that bought you a Guatemalan hooker.
Yo, I still go to I still go to people's houses and they have those fucking trading cards on their fridge and shit. It's
Shout out to trading
hilarious.
cards. Holy shit, that's that girl from the YouTube.
Hey, what's up?
She's in vlogs.
She is a vlogger. I'm surprised she wasn't filming.
Hey, is that clickbait?
For real.
Hey, are those views? Did views just walk by? Views from the 6?
Oh, what's that? Is the mail here? Where are my checks at?
I used to call you Viewfinder back in the day, and the name
We
was
all are
still-
just denigrating her. All you are views to me, bitch.
Okay, you're in the Midwest, Chicago. You first get recognized. Your first sponsor
This is
is
gonna be one of those 2-hour ones, isn't it?
We gotta get Kobza in here too.
I know.
sponsor. Your first
Fuck.
sponsor.
No, BSD. We gotta talk about the BSD time. Stop
Yeah.
going you're going too detailed.
We
Yeah.
sidetracked
BSD.
a lot here.
You want to get to that? huh?
Yes,
And then we could talk about leaving BSD and getting with Fit.
Yo, BSD, him getting on BSD is the only reason I'm sitting right here right now. Which is
So you tell us if you
In a
don't want to
nutshell,
tell us.
how do we get to here? How do we get to here?
No,
In a nutshell.
BSD.
Quick.
Tell me about BSD.
BSD was sick.
How'd you get on that?
Through Chad. Chad DeGroot is
Get in the
my
mic.
fucking. Chad DeGroot is my fucking guy.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's the man. He hooked me up. He got me on UGP, which got me out to Florida, which is why I won my first, like the first pro contest I ever won, which was
How old
which was
were you?
fucking crazy. I think I was 17.
17. We went
First
to
one you
the
won,
strip
wow.
club. True or false? We went to the strip club.
Yeah, I believe so. But my dad was not there. Fool. You're fucking
dad
lying.
was in the strip club. We'll call him right now. Let's call him right now.
I would love to actually.
Call-
but-
Call Aurelius. Call Aurelius.
Aurelius, get Aurelius on the phone.
No, but
Yeah, let's leave
Let's
Aurelius
keep
out of
stay
this.
focused
And
here.
phone calls fucking out of this. No lifelines or fucking whatever you call it.
lifeline. I like to phone a
All right,
friend.
you're 17 or 18, you win a major BMX contest.
Yeah, and it was crazy because you remember I did that fucking 3 off the corner into this bowl corner thing, and it was during the best trick. So like, I don't know, man, we were getting lit. Like fucking that contest was dope. I was either out in the parking lot getting high or fucking doing something weird, and like, I come back in because I knew they were announcing the shit, and I'm just like this fucking, I'm like, fuck, maybe I placed. I better get in there and fucking hear it. And someone comes up to me like, dude, you won. And I was just like, what, dude? I got best trick? And they're like, no, fool, you fucking won. And I was like, what?
You couldn't believe it?
No, I was blown away. Like, I was just like a ramp rider back then. I didn't even do that many tricks. I was just like fucking jumping around. I did some shit, but I don't know. It just blew my mind. I'm pretty sure Daniel Dares and Mike Spinner were in it,
Wow.
Yeah. And like other crazy fucking riders too, So like it just blew my mind.
Could have been America.
And they just like that's what started it. Then I got on Sputnik.
Mm-hmm.
I got sponsored by Sputnik, and then I was like, I had a bike company, a clothing company, fucking all this shit. It just
How'd you
kind
get sponsored by
of kind
Sputnik?
of started. I rode for Primo. I had a parts
Way
company.
past that.
Sputnik.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that happened.
I was focused on the
ABD, bro.
I was in the Sparky's house for a little bit. I see LaShawn over there. He's next. Shout out LaShawn.
What happened with getting on BSD or leaving BSD though? Like, what were you at in that period in your life? 'Cause I want to know how you became the Fit TM, your current gig that you're very excited about.
Okay. The BSD thing, I mean, like, if you remember, that's why I didn't do this podcast for a little bit, because, like, I was that's when it was the BMX podcast, but fucking I was bumming on BSD, and, it's just a long-term relationship. I'll just sum it up to that. Like, we were together for 7 years. Chad introduced me to Grant. I rode for BSD, like, based off of, like, fucking Drew York's, like, comment. I was just like, dude, this company BSD wants me to ride for him. I don't know, they're from Scotland.
Because he was on there for a little while.
It's weird. No, Drew was on because of me,
Oh, okay.
but
yeah.
I hit up Drew because he was just like my roommate at the time, and like we weren't together, but I called him, and he's like, dude, fucking Mike Taylor rides for them, and he's a fucking beast.
Yes.
And I was just like,
Rest in peace, Mike Taylor's being
yeah.
Understatement.
Shout out Mike Taylor too, because he's a fucking don. He's a dad now, and
Yeah.
he fucking, officially retired from BMX. But he's still a god. He's such a god.
But he's like a military vet who like retired with like mad Purple Hearts and shit.
BMX wise is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, he didn't
Yeah.
literally like kill
Yeah.
Cambodians or whatever. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
He's
no.
also sponsored by cocaine.
So yeah, dude, I
Not
love.
anymore. Now he's a boring old
I love
dad, probably,
Jersey.
right?
He does downhill now.
He'll never be boring.
He rode for ketamine for at least a year.
Oh my god! Just
Still, the UK
what?
doesn't give you-
How would you like if Mike Taylor came on here and talked about your drug habits?
I'm sure
Whoa,
he's gonna fucking create a stick right there.
catfish.
As long as he's rode for
Didn't he
cocaine
live-
for the
didn't he
past
st-
25
didn't he
years.
stay
He's-
with
Wanna hear a
stay
cool
with
cat-
LS's house?
Want to hear a cool story
well,
about
he stayed with me
catfish?
in Brooklyn and he stayed with me in Long Beach for like a couple weeks each time. It was pretty. Both were very eventful.
What was Mike Taylor's
how funny
best
and witty
trick?
is that man?
The funniest person.
Dude, Mike Taylor
Best
has-
BMX trick. What's his best BMX trick?
Mike Taylor has
Double
a
peg?
different type of humor that, like, you can't, like, he's one of those, like, you can kind of, like, impersonate some of your buddies, but you can't grab his. It's just, like, he's so funny.
Yeah.
He's just, like, that English dude who's just got, like, that fucking dry wit that you can't fucking beat. Like, if he doesn't say anything unless it's fucking gold.
Biggest
and he's-
man with the littlest voice.
And he's massive, too, and he'll just, like, sneak up next to you and just, like, fucking whisper something to you.
What was
That's
it
hilarious.
like being on BSD? Because when you got on, it was still like kind of nobody knew who it was.
Yeah.
And now they're
I was
killing it. To watch it grow.
I was
that
the first American
Right, what was
on
that like?
BSD. So, like,
Wow.
it was
like Christopher Columbus.
It was just kind of a leap, and honestly, like, I was just like a naive kid that just was like, fuck, I may never get another sponsor. I might as well fucking try this out.
Right.
And at the time, UGP was like, we're starting a distribution. We're going to carry them. Like, you should do it.
right.
And all that shit went to fucking nothing, but
What's BSD stand for?
can't answer that.
Thank you.
It's a
Read.
secret thing.
Even though I'm not on there anymore, I can't answer. It means a lot of things.
Right.
A whole lot of things, but I can't answer that still.
Keep guessing.
But so either way, I rode for BSD. It was fucking great, man. It was like, because it was a Scottish company, I got to go overseas a lot, and I'll never fucking trade that for anything. And like Grant definitely took care of me, but like in the end, I did a lot for him over here that I just don't think that he could have ever seen until just unfortunately it was too late. It's one of those things like, honestly, like you'd think I was talking about like a fucking breakup because
Right.
like that shit was hard. But we just lost communication, and the more that we did, the more that we started to think like weird shit, and that's just how it works, You like fucking think your girlfriend's like doing shit behind
Right.
your back or something, like because she didn't answer her phone or something. Like I couldn't get a hold of Grant for months.
Really?
Oh, it was bad.
And was he just not fucking with you?
Yeah,
or what?
he's admitted that he was avoiding me.
Right.
But like, I played my part too, and it just went on for so long that it just couldn't be repaired.
Right.
And even when we like talked about it, I was just like, yo, this shit's got to change. All this shit's got to change. And then like a month goes by, nothing.
Right.
So just like, unfortunately, like something I dealt with every sponsor I've ever rode for.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was just literally. I was formulating a question. My question to you was because a lot of people outside of BMX don't understand how sketchy it is, and exactly what you're saying. And I'm not calling Grant out, but this is like a thing that happens.
Yeah.
How would you describe the BMX industry to people that don't ride BMX?
What the fuck are,
Are you
doing,
fucking
Bo?
serious?
Papers ruined.
On his
Fucking
phone.
Cell phone ruined.
Is it even a 7?
Adam already broke
Oh
my
my
phone.
God.
How would you
I
describe the
did not do
BMX
that.
industry to people outside of, because I think a lot of people have a misconception about what BMX is like.
I don't know. It's dope. It's not like, it's not fucking the glamour anybody would imagine, but it's dope.
I don't think anyone's imagining that these days.
Well, outside people do.
Right, they
If
might,
if
yeah.
you're in here and you kind of know like what to expect, but little kids still actually.
Compared to skateboarding, though, because I think a lot of people think it's like skateboarding, and it's like.
It's just a smaller industry.
Yeah.
There's just less numbers. There's less kids that ride BMX. We can sell bikes, but like the real core industry is like the aftermarket parts, and those are expensive. And then that gets into like dudes that are fucking have jobs and shit, and it's just a really hard market. It's the same as skateboarding. It's just we're not as big.
Right.
So the numbers aren't there, and it just we have to really build the shit up. We're still, if you're involved in it, like it's up to us.
Right.
For real, like. I've been like Beacon said, I've been around for fucking ever. Even before I went pro, I was pro 10 years. And then before that, I was involved. So, like, I got to see when dudes did cool shit, like Baco and all those dudes that, like, held events. Did it. When
Yo, everybody, if you're going to talk, go outside.
Everybody shut the fuck up or we're going to call the cops.
Okay.
you know, people went out of their way to, like, better their scene, do shit like that, you know? It's like, that's what I eventually stepped in to do with, like, the Gully Factory, and that's, like, I think, like, how we all, like, my whole group of friends really got noticed, I think, through that. And
It's crazy how one person who's willing to be selfless with their time and film or take photos or whatever could have such a crazy effect on a whole scene and a whole slew of people from that area. Like if you just deciding to make videos or just deciding to, you know, take the lead with doing video projects for BSD and getting all your friends on the team or whatever, like those little things change so many people's trajectory of their lives, you know?
I just missed that whole thing.
yeah.
Why?
And I have to like throw it out to like Jeff K and Dom Travato because they were really like the dudes that
Shout out to Dom Travolta.
Right, who were keeping the
exposed
scene
me
alive when you
exposed
started,
me
really,
to
right?
that. Yeah, they were the dudes that I looked up to. That like, you know, I almost just felt obligated to keep it going when their, you know, fucking steam ran out.
Right.
And they were the shit. They inspired me to fucking definitely like, you know, and like I said, when I was filming super young, it wasn't like a real thing. And then when I started watching those guys, they came out with like video zines and shit online that you had to like download to your desktop. No fucking YouTube
So talk about
back
a little
then.
bit about the Gully Factory and how it got started and what it is basically.
Yeah. So, you know, Midwest BMX put out videos, and eventually, you know, I picked up my camera again, and we started making videos, and like I was contributing to like, you know, like we were talking about earlier, the older guys, the guys that I was looking up to, were like letting me make videos and put them on their website, and I didn't know how to fucking do that shit, you know. So like, I would make a video, which was like crazy now. I was using a computer, and you know, put it out or export it, but then I'd give it to them, and they'd put it online.
Right.
And like I said, no YouTube. You have to like, you'd fucking click this thing and like go to school
Yup.
and hope it was done when you got home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Good old
It's
days.
fucking
And
gully.
you watched them all the time.
Yeah, and you
had-
saved them
you had
up, and you
files
had
of them.
the
You
deck,
files
dude,
of them, and you
and like one little porno clip like mixed in, like that you downloaded.
I would go on like Kazaa or some shit and download like the We the People video and
Kazaa was
like
fire.
the F-It video, but the sound was off and like just all this shit. Like
Yeah. So after that, we actually, you know, did our own thing. Midwest BMX was going on, but then, you know, I met a bunch of dudes. Like, you know, just like any scene starts to grow, you meet more dudes that get inspired and get into it. And we started this thing called Dot One BMX. Reed probably remembers that. He's probably the only one that fucking would. But it was hilarious because now I look back at it, we thought we were so cool, but it was like we just took Square One and made Dot One. Like we just jacked it, but we just thought it was fucking cool. And I don't know.
Is that where the idea came from?
I think so. It didn't hit me until later, but like I think that's what my homie Taras was the one that came up with it. And I think he was like an artsy guy. He like contributed some film photos, and they like were ran and dig, you know, like in like the local section or whatever
Right,
they do.
yeah.
It was sick. We were all learning about BMX and fucking figuring it out on our own, and like that's why we were making videos. It was like no different kind of. To us back then, we were doing it the same way for fun. There was no YouTube. Then there was, and we started to like put them out on. There was something before we used to even do Google Video.
really, yeah. Google Video turned into YouTube. There was MySpace for a while.
Vimeo.
There was
Vimeo was huge at
MySpace.
BMX for forever.
Vimeo was definitely like.
BMX kept Vimeo alive.
I
think.
honestly can't remember like the first platform we used that was like fucking super easy, but
It was just. I just remember the downloadable.
it started to get easy, and then
Yeah.
we were fucking making a lot of videos. And like Catfish was saying, then something died out again, and then I moved to Tulsa.
Right.
We did a bunch of fucking videos out there for a bunch of weird shit. We made Tattooer,
Yeah.
which was
Sick,
there was
dude.
supposed to be more of those, but
So it was the basic
was a-
idea with that was that it was a BMX trip where you all got tattooed every night.
yeah, it was just everyone had to get a tattoo.
Okay.
It was like more or less like we came up with like a cool name for a video, and we're just like, so everyone that comes has to get a tat.
That's just like vlogs.
Yo.
And we were just the same way, like the same thing, like when we did videos to like replace Midwest BMX. Like, well, I feel like when we did Tattooer, it was because Road Fools was kind of
Right.
on its way out, and we were like, we got to do something, man. Let's make a fucking video that's like the old school shit. That's like dudes on the road in a van, trip video with some fucking we tattooed this fucking ridiculous alien on on this fucking trip, and I don't know, it was just a blast. So like if you look up Tattooer, that's online now, but that was a DVD. We did that, and that's after that I started the Gully Factory.
Right.
Because I was just like, I want to do something again, like Dot One.
Because originally you were doing those videos through Banquet, right?
We did some, but that was mostly Miles.
Right.
You know, Miles fucking
Shout to Miles.
the shyster he was. Like I helped him out so much on those, but you know, it was cool. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Fucking, we had a falling out, but I talk to Miles now, so it's cool.
Well, that's nice.
So you're in Tulsa?
Tulsa, for sure. That's where it started, because I was just like, man, I got to do something else. Got to fucking start something with the boys, and like you know, at that time I was like the real homies. You know, it's like I was young, so you have like falling out with people, and you're fucking like, I got to get back to the homies and know me and all that shit, blah blah blah. But like, I started the Gully Factory with like Westcott, J.E., and these are all dudes from the Midwest. So like, that was just another whole fucking blast of fun, man. All we did was make videos and fucking talk gibberish, and like if you
You have a whole slang.
follow the Gully Factory on YouTube, we have like fucking probably 11 subscribers because J.E. just uploaded all our videos from fucking Vimeo to YouTube.
Shout to Kaczynski,
But there's
because
over-
he's in our group text,
there's
and
like
he tells us you rename tricks.
Well, yeah, we just have
What's in toboggan? What's in
the
toboggan?
lingo, what's it
Yeah,
called again? Dig
vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
There's an article in Dig BMX that has a whole thing about vocabulary, and I got like introduced to this when I was young.
We
I
actually,
thought that was Minnesota.
Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs.
We actually have like a group chat that's like, it's got Westcott and Martinez and BK. It's called the Hog Farm, but there's like J.E.'s in there too. I think Justin Simpson might have bailed, but that's like, we have like, that place is full of references. It's just reference city, and that
All
just comes with you know, back and forth fucking.
Just whittling
What is
away
it?
at a joke.
Puns
Puns.
and references. I mean, like we literally were talking about like reverend reference and fucking. You're like you can be like a reverend if you're really good at referencing, and it just goes so fucking deep to where we're like talking about having a band where you only made songs full
Give
of
us the
fucking.
name of a trick in your life.
It's so hard. It's so hard to like imagine being like here and trying to it's like trying to explain an everlasting inside joke. You know, like I can't fucking.
I think you would get it.
relay
if
what it
we
means.
just called out certain tricks, and he said what it was in vocabulary. Then I think
We could do that. We could try that.
About what it is.
I want you to just give
I
us
feel
a
like I know
trick
few.
in vocabulary and let us guess what it is.
bar spin.
I can lay down bar spins real quick because that could be a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Also,
Shit.
you can do you can turn that into a Chuck Taylor because you're chucking the
Chucking
bars.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can call that a Chuck Liddell. You can call that a Bride of Chucky. Chucky fucking trilogy. Goes deeper. I don't know. Tons of things.
Keep going. What else? What else
Can't,
you got?
can't go any deeper than.
Dude, let's start calling bar spins Charlie Brown.
What else? What are the other main ones? What are the other main tricks that have names for them? I know
Toboggans.
I don't know. Like when toboggans or
Dick Bird.
you can talk about dick birds, but that's not a
What do
toboggan.
you call it? Tail whip.
We don't actually have one for tail whip.
I feel like there's no one.
Tabletop. You in tabletop?
I'm on the spot.
I'm trying to
I want to
think,
talk
feel like
about.
bars have-
I want to talk about this. I want to know when you left BSD. Were you like, I'm over BMX. I'm not going to be working in BMX anymore for a while?
I had my salty moments, but yeah, I was like, you know, it just like the biggest thing that sucked was like I said, it was like a relationship. Like that shit sucked. It was bumming me out for a while. You know, like you're trying to get a hold of somebody, and when I finally quit, it like felt like good for a minute, and then it was like, oh shit, what did I do? You know, all that shit. So like, it hits you all at once, and then I like also ended my career.
Right.
Like I was a pro rider. I wasn't getting paid anymore. And it was like all my fault. So like, I was like, fuck, did I make the right decision? But I just started working, and I got a real job, and I started making fucking money, and it made riding more fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like I would get off work and just go ride to fucking get a little session in, and felt like I was doing it like I was 15 again, like going to scrap. And for a while there, I was like bumming, and then I got over it, and then I started talking to Grant again, and we just like squashed the beef. And you know, I don't blame Grant because, you know, he's never fucking ran a company this big. Like, he don't know what he's doing, and
Right.
I don't really think I knew what I was doing either. So, like, we were both to blame, and we're on good terms now. So
So how did you start having conversations with Moeller about getting a job at Fit?
actually, that was, like, through the team. They just had a meeting, and
Yeah.
fucking Beacon can fill you
Brandon
in.
wants to take credit for getting him a job.
No, well, like Mueller had like a big team meeting and we flew the whole entire team out. Like
Oh, I remember that.
Benny
yeah.
Allen, everybody like flew everybody out to California, and we all like the main topic was kind of just like, what are we doing for the team? Because we like weren't really doing shit. And then Tony was kind of the only person that we could really come up with when they asked like who'd be a suitable TM. He had like previously done that fit video, the out of hand or whatever, like 2 months before, so it was kind of just like a
6
good-
months.
Yeah, 6 months, whatever. Yeah, it was a good.
Vegan has no
reference point.
concept of
But yeah,
time.
Either-
As a pro
um,
BMX rider, what makes a good TM for you? If you said we need a TM, what do you think would make a good one?
There's like, I don't know, as long as you can let the team go and have their fun and not make it feel like it's too much of a burden, but also at the same time keep the productivity up. Like every trip that we've had had our like fair share of good times. But Tony's good at making sure that we're all up at like fucking 9 in the morning to go get clips. So.
9?
Dude, he's the sickest TM ever.
I ain't that kind of TM.
Yeah,
9?
Promise TM.
He
That like
tweeted
literally
some-
we had a whole fit team meeting, and the only name that we could bring up like when we asked like who could potentially be the TM.
So they had that
He was the only
meeting.
name like
They
only
had that
name
meeting, and like, you know how things now with the fucking Instagram can slip past you? Well, they had this thing where they like publicly reached out for people to apply,
I
you
didn't
know?
even know that happened.
And those, yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
Those always kind of
it's
look
just-
kind of desperate
It just
and weak.
It just slips through because there's like random shit like that online all the time. It's just that's the main stuff you don't pay attention to on Instagram, don't you think?
Yeah. And like these dudes had already told me that they were kind of like rooting for me. So like when I saw that they like went to that length, I was kind of like, fuck, you know?
Because they're gonna have so many people.
I better
applying.
step in. Like I wanted to, you know.
Right.
I just didn't really know what the terms were, you know. So like, I just applied like any other person. I was gonna email Mueller and be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
But I just applied. You know, and they got back to me and we talked on the phone. Fucking numbers were right, and I had to move to California, which, you know, it's more expensive than Arizona.
Were you excited to do that though? You liked your life out there, didn't you?
Yeah, but at the time, you know, it's just like, fuck. Change seemed good. Like I said, I was still kind of like, dude, it was the middle of the summer. I'm doing fucking windows and doors for Home Depot.
Anything
Alright,
seemed better
It's
than that?
115 degrees in
R.I.P.
fucking
Home
Arizona.
Depot.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard
Um,
of Checkers?
Yeah, like I basically worked for like a contractor, but it was through Home Depot. So like we didn't do fucking jack all for Home Depot. It was me and Robbie. We ran the fucking jobs. It was gangster.
Right.
You make mad money, but in the summer, you fucking, you know, I got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then by the time the sun comes up, it's 115 degrees.
Right.
So when you're talking about moving to California and getting in the van with Began and smoking weed for a job,
For a job.
sign me up.
Smoking weed.
You know what I'm saying? So
We.
that's basically how it happened.
We. In BMX,
just smoke weed.
There've been a million times where you hear like, oh, so and so is the team manager of whatever company. You're like, what the fuck? But like, you're one of those guys. You're like, yo, did you hear the Malouf is
Yeah.
fucking team manager at SM? You're like, that's a
That's
big
what
deal.
he's
good for the
That's a
A
perfect
TM
fit.
position
Fit.
is either it's some old motherfucker who doesn't really know shit about BMX anymore coming in and taking care of the team, or it's somebody who's
I'll
still
stab
kind
you.
of relevant, like Tony, who like,
Tony,
knows
what-
what's actually cool
Tony,
and
what is
can
the
do something good
mission
to the team.
statement
So,
of
I don't know.
S&M?
There's
Fit.
there's not a very good middle ground of teams
Yeah.
in BMX
S&M is
anymore,
fit.
so
You really don't know the difference between S&M and Fit, huh?
When does the volume video?
Honestly, you know what happened the other day is we were at this pool and you know, Mastroni's filming Rooftop.
Wow.
But because it's Mastroni, I was
Shout
just
out to
like,
Rooftop.
And
I was like,
Austin Ogden
I was
was
just
there.
like, yo, when's this fucking volume shit dropping, you know? And fucking Rooftop was just like, it's United, and looked at me like all salty. But I mean, he was kidding. But I'm sitting there and I'm just like, fuck, you know?
He's been
I
on
love
volume for
every
like a
day that I
decade.
get older because old guys
He ain't on
get
volume.
mad.
He's on
Yeah.
fucking
No,
United.
that's what I'm saying. He's been on volume for like 10 years.
Oh,
Like, probably
he was
at least,
on
like,
volume.
See his new friend?
See?
He's got
Yeah,
new
yeah,
friend,
yeah.
the Fashguard.
See, I don't.
The Mexican. It was his signature
I don't
friend.
really know.
Who's your favorite BMX rapper?
Fuck. That's tough to ask.
Followed by who's your favorite
Koji
rapper?
Craft.
Koji Craft. Who's your favorite rapper?
Right now, Jeffrey.
No, he loves Jeffrey.
Problematic.
Love
He
Jeffrey.
loves
Yeah, he's good.
Have you ever heard of Little Xan?
Oh my
I've
god.
heard his name.
Dude, I love him.
Vlog
I
sensation.
love him.
Dude, I love him. Seriously.
This is your boy Lil
It's
Xan.
funny, but I never like,
Took
you
his
know,
Xan.
no, I've taken Xanax, but I don't really like pharmaceutical drugs. Even when I like get injured, I don't take the pain meds and shit.
Really?
But, yeah, I don't really like taking medication, to be fair.
As a
But
team manager for a major BMX company, walk us through a normal day of your life.
I'm gonna go and just
There is
finish
no-
what I was about to say.
You do that, I'll be right here.
He's mad
Hey,
living.
you get the hose hooked and then you charge it for the fix.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say I've recently just like found it super fucking hilarious that rappers rap about drugs, even though like I used to like, you know, when like Little White came out with like that song like fucking 12 years ago.
Oh, he was so innovative.
I
with
was
it,
kind of
yeah.
like, oh, it's a cool song, but like, you know, I don't like pills, you know, so I like didn't like it. Now I'm listening to Jeffries talk about fucking getting fucking bitches hooked and charging them for the fix, and I'm like, I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
This type of ignorance is fucking hysterical. Keep it up. Make it more
Literally,
drastic.
I don't think that we play anything except Jeffrey and the Fit Man. Like, I don't
Not
know.
recently. Not
Did you
recently.
see him freak
And
out
I'm
at the
excited.
airport?
And I'm
Did you
excited to
freak
see
out
what's
at the
next
airport?
because there's always something. You know, you go on a trip and there's always the anthem. Like,
Right.
I can't even
Young
remember
and
the
Retarded
younger.
it was because that was when Young Thug first put out 1017 Thug, so it was like that's when we first like everybody got turned on to this dude with like the craziest voice ever, and we were just rocking out to like and also what is it? Do Flocka Rant 2 was Waka Flocka's
You'd
tape
have to
that was
spit
out at the
lyrics
time.
at me because I never like looked these songs up.
No,
but
it was
they were
like
fucking,
I fell in love. And the bottom of her feet looked like she fell in mud.
Yeah.
Could be slipping, but I felt drunk.
And the bottom of her feet looked like she
she
stepped in
fell
blood.
You
I
see,
fucked it up, but yeah.
Something like that, right?
yesterday he freaked out at the airport.
Huh?
He like missed the flight at the airport.
Thugger?
You see this? Yeah, Young Thug. He missed his flight at the airport and he pulls out $15,000 and he's yelling at the women behind the counter like, "Quit your job, bitch! Like here's 15 grand."
I didn't see that. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's good.
Sounds kind of cool.
Like-
And the
Yeah, we
bottom of her feet looked like she stepped in blood.
Let's keep talking about rap.
You love rap music. Who are your favorite rappers? Top 3. I mean, I know you got Biggie on your leg. I feel like people.
I love Biggie.
You have a
should-
Biggie
can you
tattoo
even,
on
can
your
you
leg?
bring your leg up top here?
He's got Wu-Tang on his lower back.
Maybe we'll
One
reference
thing
it.
about It's about him.
We can get a photo and plug it in later.
Yeah,
Bing.
You can edit
Bing.
that in.
Send it to me.
It's brilliant.
I don't know if I really have any like rapper tattoos so much
He's got like a fucking mural on his leg. It's beautiful.
of Biggie. He
Yeah,
meant a lot to you as a young black man from Brooklyn.
I just like really like got into his music, you know, when I started like getting deep into like rap and hip hop, you know, like I fucking had the Biggie.
The deep
Library.
dig where you just loved every
The
single
library.
song.
Who do
yeah.
you like to
Yeah.
listen to when you ride?
Me, Little John, and Michael used to always, those dudes used to always clown about like just listening to fucking Biggie and Big L.
Right.
And then like,
That was an era for sure.
yeah, so.
Little John was the first person to put people on to Gucci.
For me, it was a lot of
Lil
like
Jon is a gangster, shout out
it was
Lil
a
Jon.
lot of Jay-Z and Nas, where I just like I watched their whole careers from the beginning to end, and like fully felt like I understood their careers, and that helped me understand
Yeah.
all other rappers in a way.
It always just like fucking really impressed me like when I got older too, because I was like hella into Biggie, but then like I said, like I kept like digging into it, and as I got older, you know, you fucking study weird shit, and
Right.
you know, the dude was 24, so like by the time I was like 22, I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy,
Right.
you know. Biggie was 24 years old, selling out fucking shows, hanging out with fucking Mace. You know what I'm saying? That's Gully.
Fucking fake
No, I'm
Evans in the
saying?
face.
Oh,
So Gully.
He rose above me.
So like I don't know.
Quite
I just
quickly.
like think like what that would just be like to be like a 24-year-old kid and have to fucking handle all that. You know, like
people trying to kill you.
we're all talking about like, oh, these kids are fucking DMing us, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Biggie's just getting his dick sucked by like fucking divas.
What song do you want played
recording
at
it?
your funeral?
I don't know.
Jeffrey.
Fucking right
Something
now.
about dripping and chopping a Xan in
right
a
now,
monster.
I'm about it.
Jeffrey
I'm
and
about
Notorious B.I.G. mashup.
Oh, that's what
Of
you should
some
do. You should
sort.
get all into like mashups and do that.
Either like
I'll have
like
Charlie
rape,
mix something
like
up.
rape, and
No, the worst.
Something.
That song needs to be
Nah.
stricken from the record.
So you love music, and I always known you like you're searching for new shit all
Creed.
the time, showing me shit.
Kurt
And
Hoberger
is
over
it
here.
because of your editing? Is it because of your videos that you like look for new things? You always want to have like different perspective on what's going on in the music world, so it can impact your videos.
There was definitely like a time when you know, I was kind of I don't know, man. I think I'm just like an old school type of person where I like what I like. And for a while, I was just like into old music. And I was one of those people who was just like,
Define old
new music sucks.
Define
Also-
music.
At the time, I was like into classic rock, So like, kids were listening to fucking current music, and I'd just be like I said, the same way that I got into Biggie, when I got into like classic rock, I'd just like start studying shit. I get into fucking like GNR.
But
Or fucking
at the same
Sticks.
time,
Or
you were
fucking-
also the one who put me and Adam onto Bones.
That's true. That's a
Back
good point.
in the day.
You put me onto
that's
You put us on the
right.
Bones
You were
back
the
in the day.
dude.
This is like one of the main things I wanted to bring up.
I completely forgot. You were the fucking dude that put everybody
listened
on
to
the fucking Bones.
I listened to Xavier back in the day, beforehand, but yeah, Tony definitely put me onto Bones.
Hey, everybody go watch the No Jumper Bones interview that we did a couple months ago.
Yo, it was
Click
so
here,
sick.
clickbait.
Shouts to Uncle Ricky.
Just click
I
the
can't
subscribe
believe
button. You can't see it unless you click
I
subscribe.
literally
Just
can't believe
put-
I forgot about that.
Just put
Kaczynski
Bones in
told
every
us,
thumbnail from now
You
on.
put everybody onto fucking
No,
Bones.
see, it was him, but it was actually David Grant.
Yeah, David showed
David
me
Grant
that
is,
kid.
Like, he's deep into BMX.
Yeah.
Or not BMX. He's deep into music, and he always listens to like crazy
Mm-hmm.
shit. And back in the day, he was like, he knew about Raider Clan and all them. So like,
Yeah.
he showed me and Malouf them like when it was like, Eat the Wolf.
Definitely have to pay homage to David Grant because he showed me that kid and all those dudes for sure, like he
And-
says.
Yeah. So
You fucked it up. You showed me, and then whenever you show me something, it becomes like trendy right away.
I know. That's like I think that's why David hates me.
Long ago because you were
I
so
swear.
mad. You put
Probably,
us on,
right?
You put us both on, all of us, on the Suicide Boys.
Who, him?
Still
Not
doesn't
me.
know who
No,
Suicide
no,
Boys
no,
is.
You don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's just
Catfish,
wrong.
you're
Pretty
so
sure Tony
wrong.
doesn't even listen to Suicide.
Crazy that you're old enough to say you
Vegan-
can just
I
make
listen-
shit.
Vegan's right. You're fucking wrong,
I
Catfish.
pierced my belly button to
wrong.
Suicide Boys song.
Remember when I texted you? I was like, make sure Catfish is there for my podcast.
He's
No, I'm
retarded.
kidding,
He's slow.
Pass me a letter.
No, but I remember I played Riff Raff around you back in the day, and you just go, "This motherfucker took Big Tuck's flow," and you put on South Side's The Realist.
You
and I'm
guys
like,
didn't even know about
No,
Big
I didn't
Tuck.
know at the time,
I was like,
no.
dude, this dude is like a. You guys are like, oh, this dude's dope. He's white. He's like, can you believe this guy's white? And I was just like,
He's
this is a-
white.
I was like, this is a white big.
Cause changing colors like
No.
chameleon lizards.
I was like, dude, this is a white Big Tuck. Fuck this guy.
Hey, did you watch the No Jumper Riff Raff interview?
Oh my god, isn't that crazy to think that it came all the way around that I fucking interviewed that guy?
So sick.
Shout out to the
Remember?
girl on that interview that said,
Shout out Brittany, yeah.
she said that Riff Raff is E40's Ghost Rider.
Did you let Catfish on that interview?
No, I would have.
Thank
Oh
thank
my
God.
God.
He
All
was
right.
in Riff Raff's video.
Didn't you get so high you had to dip?
He did, yeah.
So funny.
And then we talked about how bad it was for another half
I
hour.
was listening to like all those. Like I used to listen. I listened to all the No Jumpers and the TCU TVs when I was doing Windows.
Oh, nice.
I just be doing Windows, dude, just listening to them on SoundCloud, fucking laughing, dude. Busting out laughing at fucking ridiculously foul shit, like in people's homes. You know what I'm saying?
listen to the
Fucking
Zero one?
hysterical. Who?
Zero.
Nah.
That was a good one.
Yo.
Some of these, like, I'm gonna be real, I don't know some of the rappers, and like they
Well,
don't,
Let's
like they just,
Chapo. Chapo.
they
I
just
don't
don't,
either.
they just don't fucking like appeal to me when I see some weird name and like a goofy ass photo of some guy. But I love the meme that fucking Team We did of Carlton, where it's like when you just had a poppin' ass video on SoundCloud in a No Jumper fucking interview, and it's like Carlton, and he looks goofy as hell.
I don't
You
even
ever
know I
seen
saw
that?
that. That sounds funny as fuck.
Oh, it's fucking hysterical.
Follow our meme account.
It's making
at
fun of
Team
you,
Weed
so it's
420. It's
Our?
fire. I was one of the original founders of it, so fuck you.
Well, don't include me in it. I didn't make any
Remember
of those
Team
memes.
Blackout tried to
Well, I
fucking
meant-
jump on the
I was saying
It's
bandwagon?
like Team Beer, Team...
Team anything? Team Sash?
Just make Team Zan's BMX and make all the Zan
Oh
memes.
my
That'd be
God.
funny. Just
Team
BMX
Zans?
Zan memes. BM Xanax.
Yeah, hey Tony. I like a half a bar. I was so barred out.
Do you have a Xanax?
Who's that?
LaShawn knows. That's
I'm starting to get a boner hearing
Tammy
that.
does that impersonation so good of a valley girl who's just chasing
okay.
a bar.
Yeah. Chasing a bar.
No, not chicks at a bar. Chicks on a bar.
Valley bar.
That's such a
Pretty
thing.
Great, taking bars.
Just
Fuck.
chasing a bar.
I took like 3 Zans tonight. I don't remember
Listen
what
to
happened
Vegan.
before,
Book 'em.
but
Yeah, oh, he knows what he's talking about. I've had kids come up to me
yeah,
at
that's
parties.
vegan in
I've
a
had kids come up to me at
party.
parties and be like, "This kid, actually, he did it right in front of Augie. Like, Augie could
believe
hear
you-
this. And he's like, yo, bro, I know you do a podcast. I wrote this song off the Zens earlier. I want you to listen to it." And I just see Augie just looking at me like, like thinking it's the funniest thing that I have to deal with this. And I just told the guy, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just at a party. I'm not trying to listen to anybody's music. And he was like, oh, like so hurt. Like the Xans had made him so weak that he couldn't even like stand up for himself. It was
He was
crazy.
brittle.
Dude, Xans are destroyed.
Dude, what
Do you
the
remember
fuck?
the kid outside of the Suicide Boys show?
Oh,
Where,
that
like,
poor
it was,
kid,
like,
yo.
A 12-year-old kid who walked up and he
Facts.
was like, this kid was like Xan out of his fucking mind. And we're hanging out there after the show on the sidewalk, and he just comes up kind of.
He's 15.
I want to hold this.
15.
He's 16 now, I think.
Well, yeah, but he's
He's
I
cool
mean,
now. He went to rehab and he's actually tight.
Supposedly.
There we go.
Can we
That's why
verify
I'm
that
glad
it-
you guys
that it-
followed
that it
up.
took?
But this night was.
I saw him the other day before I left California.
And he wasn't all red in the face off the Xans because that made me. I was terrified. Because he was
looked
like,
completely sober, which I was like. He gained mad weight and shit, which is cool. Like
He
Well,
was
that's
a
cool.
ghost.
Yeah.
When he
No,
came up
he's
to you,
tight.
he was a ghost. He's like, dude, he was like super like confrontational, but just like a little ass kid.
he was
And it
just in
like-
my face like, yeah, Adam, on some shit. He's just like, I'm like, you get hit in the head in that pit or something? And then I'm looking at more and I'm like, oh, you're fucked up. That's terrifying. You're 15. What is wrong with you?
it looked like
Yeah,
his
right?
Xanax bar probably weighed more than his.
We always talk about this kid. I feel like this has been on like a bunch of other
Pills
podcasts.
just never made me feel good, man. Like I remember, like my homie once, like I got a fucking Vicodin, bruh. I'm like, cool, man. What's the deal? He's like, yeah, let's split it, man. Took that shit. I was just like, dude, you should fucking go home. I'm tired as fuck.
That's so unlike Vegan.
Done.
Vegan wouldn't be like, I have a
Not
Vicodin,
cool.
let's split it.
No,
He'd
it
be
was
like,
not-
oh, I
that's
took a
like-
Vicodin 2 hours ago.
Not fast.
He'd let you in after the fact. But you're a true lover of whiskey.
I like whiskey.
You love whiskey.
I don't drink beer anymore,
Really?
but it's been like that for
You
yeah
haven't-
several
Yeah,
years.
I don't think I've ever seen you. I've never seen you-
He doesn't
False.
do beer, spliffs, or
No-
barely
no
barely
tobacco.
joints.
No tobacco.
Has to use a wick to light the bong.
No, he's
Won't
not
use the
that-
lighter.
No,
He
I
doesn't
don't do
even
Used to
hit
be
the
like
bong.
that.
I
I
don't
don't
He
do
doesn't
that. I
hit
have
the
my
bong in the
reasons.
first place.
It's
Yeah,
bongs.
I don't like the wick. It's got
You don't-
wax on it.
What do you use? A piece of paper?
It's fucking lighter.
Oh. But isn't that bad? Isn't that
Who
the
am
thing
I?
you're trying to avoid? I used to see you using the wick. I feel
Yeah,
like.
with the bong.
It was a long time ago.
That was ages
Yo,
ago.
yeah.
he is the most particular weed smoker. Like
I like the blunt with a
When
wick.
he used to roll swishers, he'd like
Lighting a
fold up
wood with a
weed.
wood match is if
He
if
always-
you really want to fucking
He always
talk.
complains about my backwoods because
Wood
they're
on
too
wood.
nicky
No,
because
no.
they have too much
Too much,
backwood
yo,
on
yeah,
them.
fuck
so
him.
that's what I'm saying.
But
With
understand,
swishers-
if you
Oh,
light,
because you roll it too thick.
you light-
yeah, too
I
much-
put
you
I
don't
keep
peel
too
it.
much backwood
Yo,
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With swishers, he would tear out
Whose
the
phone is that?
gum
I'm gonna
part,
kill you.
like the little bit
The
of
vein.
glue in the
Everybody
sleeve.
does that.
He would tear
No.
out the vein,
But I
and
was
he would
doing that
also
shit
fold
way
over
before
the
it went-
end and tear off like the little bit that's like.
I was putting people onto that for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I was showing people that like because you could especially like you can like fuck with it and you can find the vein and then you break it down it and you get that perfect
Yo,
break.
you're a
Break.
blunt
And then you
technician.
Fine.
Take that shit out.
And
But,
now with backwoods, you carry around a pair of like kindergarten grade scissors.
yeah, unfortunately I got some real like kitchen scissors.
Vegan
These
taught
are-
me that
these
you
are
don't
way
need
too
to
big.
trim the wood.
He travels
I'm
with
gonna roll
little
a wood.
baby scissors.
Well, how long have we
Look,
been
Joe,
Just so
his
he
little-
can cut
his-
up his.
We're an hour and 10
His
minutes
little
in, so
purple truck.
maybe not another whole nother wood. That was
Hour
going to take
and
a
10
while.
minutes.
Let's do 20 more
All right,
minutes.
hey,
20 more minutes?
All right.
Hour
Okay.
and a half, is that chill?
Okay, so roll the ball.
Boom.
Let's just like
Fit
round,
TM.
let's just round it up.
That might be
Fit, yeah, fit team, man.
Fit
I'm
TM,
good.
kind of relevant to this. So,
You think? I think we
I'm
just
good.
keep talking about random shit.
or weed?
Well, yeah, I'm the fit TM
We
now.
can talk about weed.
Do you want to talk about?
Huh?
Do you find Moeller intimidating, the owner of Fit?
I don't want that.
You don't find him
No,
intimidating?
I did when I first got hired, but it's like you would any job. I just
Right.
wanted to watch my
Do you
ass,
have
so I
to
didn't get
show
fucking
up at
canned.
9 to 5 when you're not filming?
No, I probably should, but I show up at like fucking 10 or 11, and then I leave at like after traffic, so I'm there till like 6 or 7.
Oh, every day doing what?
No, just like I do a bunch of shit. Right now we're designing the 2018 completes, which sounds fucking crazy. 'cause
So
it's
you're
not even
involved in stuff like that, not just dealing with the team and filming.
deep,
Okay.
deep shit I've never even done before. So now I'm like definitely dealing with like codes and shit to send to Taiwan,
Oh,
and
wow.
like I can fucking
Dude, yo, he
Or do
dropped
you-
out of high school, but he's self-taught as fuck. Like, he taught himself how to do all this video editing shit. He taught himself visual effects. Like, met people to teach him. Like, he like networked with enough people to where he figured out how to do everything with BMX, where he's making the most brilliant edits. And now he's in a place where he's just
How
doing
did
it all
you
the
get-
time.
how?
Like, they're definitely going to use him for all that.
How did you get to this point? If you met some dude at a bar, you're a team manager of a major BMX company. How did you get here?
Whose dick do you have to
I mean,
suck?
like it's just all just been fun. Like I've always just wanted to do it. Like this is the same shit I was doing for the Gully Factory when I was doing it myself, and we like would make shirts and sell them at a jam and make money. And
Just bigger scale.
yeah, it's just now it's like I'm 27 years old now. I need a fucking job, yo. I can fuck around and try to still pretend I'm a bike rider and make a bunch of money and be grungy as fuck, but
Okay.
not me.
Here's the question. What did Moeller want you to do with the brand when you came in? Like, what were the changes that he wanted you to basically be responsible for, in your opinion?
Not to really, like, put this out there, but, like, don't know.
No,
I don't
we
know.
literally kind of just
It wasn't
threw his
really.
name into
It wasn't
this
really
bucket of we don't
discussed.
know.
The first like month I was there, I didn't know what the fuck I was like even supposed to be doing because, you know, I wanted to do what they want me to do, but at the same time, like, I felt like what I want to do is super important.
I feel like they asked us, and we were like, we want a TM. And then they got you, and then we had a TM. And the first month, we just kind of didn't really know what the TM was supposed to do.
Then so
it was like, it's okay. It's like a grace period.
Well, it's just
Moeller-
like imagine
Moeller
going
and
into a job and they're just like they don't even. My girlfriend's dealing with this right now, but you go to a job every day and they're like no one tells you what to fucking do.
You got to figure
Yeah,
something
yeah.
out.
You're just
yeah.
like, fucking, what do I do? I'm
Yeah.
standing
Do you
here. What do I do?
remember-
So, like, to me, like, I have plenty of
You
shit to
made
do,
your
but, like, you know, like, I didn't feel like the first month I was there, I didn't feel like I was, like, able to make decisions on my own. So, like, it took a while to get into a position, and also I think I had to, like, definitely earn some trust.
Right.
Because they haven't had anybody in my position in a very long time.
No, they
Right.
never did it. That's what Moeller was saying at Vegas, at Interbike. He was talking with us about it.
Nobody's- nobody's had
what
my
does a
job.
TM even do? He had no idea.
Nobody's
what a TM did 'cause
nobody's
he was
had my
just
job
taking care
since
of it all.
Robbie.
Right.
Like, facts.
Well, like Van, but he was doing a very different job of it
No,
because he's on the other side of the
different.
country. Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, in Muller's eyes, no one's been there where what I'm doing, I think, since Robbie.
Right.
So I think it was really hard for him to, you know, and I don't want to speak for him, but, you know, that's how I felt. So it was kind of a
He
really...
should speak here on his own podcast.
He
just for the
should.
record,
He
yes.
should get in here. He's a funny motherfucker.
Let's go Moeller.
Um,
Robbie too, but Moeller.
But yeah, so like I think it was just really hard for them to hire me, and you know, I hope they're glad they did because you know, I think I'm helping.
How much
Yo,
of the
they're
time do
lucky
you,
as fuck.
how much of the time do you spend out there just like filming the team versus like being in the office helping with like stuff like you're talking about designing completes and shit?
That's you know, probably not as much as I should be.
Uh huh.
You know, but it's something I'm trying to work out.
But is that like, would you prefer to be out filming like all the time? Or do you like doing office stuff too because it's kind of easier and more chill rather than being out fucking trying to break into a school on a Wednesday afternoon?
It's weird. You know, the team's not always available. So
Right,
like,
yeah.
And there's other shit that needs to be done. You know, like I'm technically like, I'm in charge of marketing as well. So, you know, we're part of a 2-person marketing team.
What's your vision for 2017?
I think that's really still like up in the air. Like I'm still like getting to know the team, and
More cool shit with the
I got to get really close like with half of them for the Halloween project. But I still have to like really get close to some of the guys. Like I've never gone on a trip with Hango or Nordstrom, and you know I think I know pretty much everybody else decently well. But you know I've never gone on a trip with Van, Benny, or some of these other dudes too that are as the TM.
Right.
So like there's still tons of shit that needs to get done. Like just takes time, you know. And that's what's like.
Was the Trick or Treat project with your idea? Like, oh, let's do a big project that'll kind of show that we have like a new thing going.
Yeah, that was my idea, and I think I bit off a little bit more than I could chew, like to start off with. But I'm glad I did. It was
made
just
it
cool.
work.
We fucking did something cool and different, and I don't know like how much it really like shook, but fuck it. I think it was different and
I loved
fucking
it.
and raw,
Yeah, it was awesome.
and good for like I said, you know, like we put a lot of effort into it, and it was free and it was online, and
Every trip we went on, we had the best time ever. Like,
yeah, we had a
it
fucking
was a genuine,
great
like,
time.
good team vibe.
We
every
filmed
single
half of
trip,
it on a
like-
fucking shop tour trip.
Yeah.
So like we went on a
That was,
shop
like, how
tour
it
trip and we
started.
fucking, you know, like that's like part of like I think my job too is like it's not my money, but I'm gonna look out for like every move we make. I'm gonna try to make sure that we're doing the most we can. And like
Yeah.
a shop tour, we're like we don't need to be there for fucking
Mueller
more than
told us
more
in
than
the-
what 2
he
hours.
told us in the email that he didn't want us to bother. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm not really stressing you guys filming. Just get Instagram clips." And then we came back with like the beginning.
We
of the
filmed
DVD.
for like yeah.
And that's
bunch
what's
of
weird
shit.
though is that Moeller knows that he has a team and he knows that he wants the team to be productive, but he's kind of like removed enough that he doesn't necessarily know what the fuck the team should be doing. So it's almost like you as the team manager that he hires, like you kind of have to like just be like, all right, this is what I'm going to do, and just sort of like impress him with that because
Yeah.
he doesn't 100% know what he wants from a team manager.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's taken a minute to kind of ease into the role, but I do believe that I'm better off like just executing something and showing it to them than presenting them something and asking them if it's okay.
Right. It's kind of your way to like avoid.
But
it being
that's
too
just like, you know, and
bureaucratic,
I
right?
have to like kind of, you know, start to know when my opinion matters and follow my gut and try it out. I don't think they're gonna fucking be mad because, in reality, my goal is to really help the brand. Like I that's all I want to do.
Yo, what I've seen, like I used to work for my company, like BSC, and like I'm like jealous. You know, I like the first shit.
Well, yeah, because you fucking lost your TM, ball.
Hey,
The first-
hey, T, you made us cool again.
Exactly, the first shit dropped for Fit, and I was like, holy fuck, like Fit is cool again. Like Malouf made this video, and now all of a sudden, like I'm looking at the video, like damn, they are dope. They're having a great time, and it was all because of him. Like,
How do you successfully market a BMX company in 2016?
It's actually very tough. I'm parched.
that's a big
I
question.
feel like this is your biggest day-to-day thing that you always ask us about. Just like, yo, what the fuck are we supposed to
How do you
with
market
the
to these
company?
psychotic
Because my
kids?
mouth was so dry, that was a
Take a swig.
doozy. Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, because I've never worked for such a big company, we sell low-end bikes, complete bikes, entry-level bikes.
Right.
That is the hardest age group to market to.
How do you market to them?
That's fucking impossible,
They don't even
Bo.
know about BMX
Nah.
media
Technically
yet.
illegal.
They
You can't advertise to children.
Adbusters over here.
Talking to our phones.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's really weird because you know
It
you
works,
want
but-
to be cool, and like that's my whole thing is I just think that we're gonna take the basic BMX approach and fucking market these guys for the fucking the rock stars they are.
Right.
You know, like you have this weirdo from Connecticut who has like look at him and what he's done. You know, like
Bisexual.
he's not Biggie, but
No, he's bisexual, yeah.
But he's done, like all these dudes have done some cool shit, and that's what I love about all BMX riders, and like that's why I've always rode is like even the dudes that aren't pro, even that like you meet some weird fucking people, and I just think BMX needs to get back into more like more substance, fucking have some fucking life in it rather than let's sponsor this kid because he's fucking hot, or let's get a fucking video
pop on
out
Instagram.
today. Like I don't know, I just want to see more like I really like Dig because
Joey
they
Bags.
pay homage to
Joey,
like
Joey Bags.
they pay homage to a lot of legends, and they you know they do origin stuff, and they reflect on things that have happened because none of these kids know shit. They don't know dick, and then
We
they
just
fucking.
put-
But that's what's tough about doing that content is that nobody looks at it.
we just put Tony's
Which one?
homie
Like
on who does like
the stuff
900
about
tail taps.
the stuff about like fucking doing stuff about like old school riders and stuff. It's like it's almost impossible to get people to look at it because it's like people stop caring about BMX when they're so young.
They would rather see Garrett
Facts.
or Sean
It's crazy.
or
Facts.
fucking Stevie.
It's a big sacrifice. Like for a Dig, if I put myself in their shoes, it's like what like, you know, it's tough to pay a bunch of money for stuff that like you know is going to appeal to like probably the smallest possible audience of anything you put out that month, you know?
Yeah, no doubt, because the kids don't want to watch something. But I mean, there are kids too that do care, and like I said, they're not. The numbers are just lower than, you know,
Right.
this rap podcast. Because who doesn't like fucking rap, Adam? Let's be
That's a good
fucking
point.
real.
Rabbit's tight.
And butts
Yeah, and butts.
and weed.
Fucking
Everything's struggling
clickbait,
right
weed
now.
and booze,
Rap, weed, and butts
weed,
are-
booze.
Clickbait. Blickbait.
Feel so sorry for LaShawn.
Blickbait. Sean's just over there gearing up. Look at him smoking himself
I
silly.
can't believe we're doing another one.
Oh, we're doing another
Shout
one.
outs. You want
Oh
to give
my
shout outs
God.
to anybody that anybody?
Loads of people.
Way to go.
Yo,
Loads.
you probably have a shout out list longer than.
Yeah, it's deep. I don't know. Everybody who would actually listen this far, my boy. That's tight.
You know what's the crazy thing? Actually, I just want to say about you with Fit is that usually when people become a team manager, they either fire a bunch of people or hire a bunch of people. I don't feel like you've done either.
I'm not gonna do shit the whole first year. I decided that right away. It's like not my place, you know. Like if
Right.
Moeller was just like, "Yo, kick this dude off," I mean, I would have to.
Right.
What the fuck could I do?
If he told you you'd kill someone, would you?
Hell no.
Really?
Kill him. No, I'm kidding.
For asking? I'll kill you. How dare you ask me that? I'll bludgeon you to death.
I technically did kill him in a Halloween picture already.
Oh, see, there you
Sort
go.
of.
yeah.
I mean, he was kind of like,
What's the worst
he's
thing
kind
you
of
do to
cursed.
spiral?
What's
He was
the-
kind of
hey,
cursed.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I don't know, man. It's tough. Made my mom cry.
Doing
No.
what?
I don't know. Probably multiple times I've made her cry, but I just
Oh,
feel
yeah.
terrible
Made
about
everyone
it.
cry a million
It's
times.
fucking awful.
Yeah.
What a terrible question.
And what a terrible answer. Like, God, that does sound sad as fuck. Because it's so open to interpretation.
What was he gonna say? That
Dude, you asked me, man. I'm gonna
that's good.
fucking.
I apologize to everybody for wasting 30 seconds. I'll redeem myself right now. What's the most fucked up thing you've ever seen in your entire life?
I don't know. Remember when we were overseas and you had the laser and you were just like, watch this, I'm gonna hit these cars, and sure enough, a policeman.
Holy shit, I got that same laser. Here it
A
is.
policeman just comes out of nowhere and is just like, what are you doing with the laser? Fucking sure enough, he talks himself out. He talks it
Don't
out.
put it in people's eyes.
Talks
This is in
himself
Cologne,
out of
Germany.
it
Cologne,
because
Germany.
he
Cologne,
yeah,
Germany.
we're in Germany and he goes,
I used to have a lot
oh,
of
I'm an announcer at a contest and I have to use it to point at stuff while I announce. I'm just like, you're a fucking little bastard.
They bought it probably,
No, but,
right?
like,
They
we're-
bought it.
we're
They
wasted-
bought it in a
we're
second.
wasted on a street corner and like, I'm just like shining cars and a car comes down the road and it's a
Sometime soon later, like, I don't know, it wasn't the same trip, but like, this is around the same 2-year span. We're in
They
Paris.
kicked you out of that
We're in
contest.
Paris. I got kicked out of that contest for real.
What?
Me and
He's
AK
doing
ref-
fuck the world's. It was the world. It was the like fucking BMX world.
me and AK refused to wear helmets. It was fire.
And they're like, you can't ride.
And
the course.
Miles-
He's like,
I like a man with a cause.
And Miles like filmed it, and like we got kicked out, and fucking
Stop making a mess.
the
Alfredo
security-
just cleaned this place, and I'm going to tell him that you're the reason there's fucking beer everywhere, for the record.
He's talking.
God, I hate you. The worst person. Let's finish this.
Have you ever been attacked by an animal?
Sign me out.
He's talking
Remember-
like you weren't the
remember
one who
when we,
distracted me by throwing
yo,
trash all over the store.
we were in Paris.
Stop. I can't
and
think
we were
of anything
smoking
I would
a-
rather you not be
Stop
doing
with
than
the
playing with the
fucking
fucking
laser.
laser.
Catfish.
You guys, this is
I
such
got-
a problem that you two are just over here in your own world not paying attention to the guests. It makes me want to
listening,
kill you.
damn it, I'm completely.
Catfish.
No, but throughout this
Continue.
whole thing,
Continue.
you're so self-absorbed that you can't even pay attention to someone else for an hour.
You caught us on our 2 seconds of us being.
No, you've been
I'm
doing it the
sorry.
whole
let
time,
them
you piece
sit
of
in
fucking
their
garbage.
Sorry.
Yeah, we gotta stop letting Beacon sit there, right?
No, I don't.
Because
know.
he's in his own world. It's like he doesn't even care that someone else is
Let's
talking.
reset.
No, we're ending it.
Reset. Continue.
This is also the worst
All
thing
I was
ever.
gonna say is because one time he finds me in like the middle of a jam that he's supposed to be like doing something at, and he's just like, I got a bunch of hash, roll this, and we like, I
For a
rolled
little
this,
kid.
roll this joint. No, I was like, I don't know, I must have been. I was
14.
19.
Lying.
We were in France. We were in Paris. I was an adult.
So you're saying that Catfish traveled over country lines
Listen,
to
this
smoke weed
is
with
the
children?
coolest thing
That's a whole
about
other story
this is
in
the
itself,
coolest
but we're
thing
not
about
gonna
this
say it.
story, and like not everybody's gonna really get it, but we're sitting there and I'm rolling up his hash, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
In Paris.
Rolling up his weed in Paris, and he goes, you see this fucking kid right here? This kid is the fucking future of fucking Flatland. And he
says
was
that
like,
about everybody.
no,
Finish. Please stop interrupting.
It was Mateus.
Yes. Who was it?
it's Mateus.
It was Mateus. You can look right here.
I could tell you that he's the future of Flatland right now, too. Everybody knows
This
that.
was
17
before.
years
This is
ago.
before
Hey, he made me do a
was,
decade.
dude.
See?
This was before he was, and then like he
Brandon
blew
knows.
up, and he like made like flatlanding like a thing,
Mm-hmm.
put his own spin on it, and I was always just like, I remember when I was smoking that fucking joint with Catfish, and I was just like,
Always right.
like this is just some
Seriously,
fucking,
I'm always right.
like this is some fucking
Seriously,
French
remember
kid.
5
Shut up,
years ago
Catfish.
When I told you that
Stupid
Adam was gonna be
motherfucker.
the most famous bisexual
Fire.
BMX rider
Heck
ever
yeah.
on YouTube. Look at him now.
Thank you.
Look at him
Appreciate that.
I hated Adam at
Never
one point.
said anything nice
Why'd you
about
hate
me.
Adam?
Fuck
Wait,
you.
wait, wait. You hated Adam at one
Yeah, I don't know, because I was younger. I was just like, that guy looks like a faggot.
That fucking
Fair.
Yo,
word.
actually,
Stop using that word.
before I knew Adam, I also
girlfriend
kinda
hates
hated him.
Pause. Before I
Also,
do Adam.
Yo, it was because I was on BMX board and there was.
Oh,
shit
man, I had beef with your brother,
This
yeah.
is the shit I was hoping we were
my
going to
brother
talk
talked
Wow,
about.
yeah.
Shit on there,
Podcast.
and Adam was there, and he was like making the come up at the time.
Yeah.
And he started like posting videos that were posted on BMX board on the come up, and everyone on BMX board, which is like what I fucked with.
Right.
This is before like blogs were a thing. You know, it
I was
just,
like the enemy of the state
went
on there.
nuts on
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah, it
posted
went
it,
nuts, and like everyone was hating so hard, and I was like, man, fuck this guy. Like, what's he thinking? And then, sure enough, years later, I'm
Yeah.
fucking living with him.
My friend hit me
Now
up.
he's TMZ.
My friend hit me up. He goes, "Yo, our video is on this site." I was just like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yo, it's this site, and they just take like every video and they put it in one place. It's sick." And like that's all we knew. It wasn't like we didn't know the name of it. We didn't give a fuck, but we were just like, "Oh, that's kind of cool that like someone noticed our shit." And like
That's why I respect
it
his
was
hustle,
it was
because
the
at
come
the
up.
time he did that, he was stealing fucking furs from Macy's, and he was hustling credit cards, and he was hustling fucking poker. He was doing fucking online poker.
Yo, shout out anybody
Hey,
that's
stop
really
airing my
still
friend
listening,
out on
dude.
the
I feel like
internet,
this.
Catfish.
Shut the fuck
No,
up,
this
Brandon.
was dope as fuck.
You think so?
Yeah, no, selling dope.
You're gonna have to tell everybody like, yo, get like. You're gonna have to put up with some bullshit
Take
for
a
20
take a
minutes.
Xanax before you watch this.
Take a perk and just fucking nap through this fucking video because it's a fucking pile of
Play
shit.
this while you're sleeping. Put it on repeat.
Get the background on this man.
No, I think it was great.
I learned shit tonight. Like I've known him for how many years? How many years have I known you?
Really long time. I don't know. 13, 14 years.
13, and I haven't heard some of the things that came up tonight, so it's good. You're giving it back.
I love
History,
Reed. I
Reed
really
is
love
great,
Reed.
yeah.
You gotta, if anything, these people just need to go and like Google your name and like.
I think it really shows what type of
Google
person
edit.
I am, that I have an ex
This podcast
rider
is
of mine
live, dude.
and a
It just
current.
itself.
Like, I don't.
We're just talking
I
about
don't.
it for
You
an
know.
hour and a half.
Google edited
fuck with
by
everybody,
Tony
man.
Malouf. Edited by Tony Malouf.
True.
And just look at all the shit that
Watch
comes
What's your
up.
favorite
What's the
BMX
evolution?
video? Favorite BMX video?
I don't know. When you said that, I just thought of System. I love System. I love
Classic.
Will Stroud. That was a beast.
White tires, pink pedals.
Is there anybody in this room that was in that video?
No, obviously you're the. Oh.
I wish it was that type of
Oh,
night.
wait a minute, that is me. That was me.
Oh.
That was me.
You look like a fucking psychopath in that
You look
video.
like if Aaron Banky got AIDS.
I punched myself in the face in that video.
My mom used to like fucking like, you know, like walk through the living room while I was watching that video, and she'd be like, who the fuck is that guy? And it was like when you're like shirtless with the crazy hair, you sit down next to the fucking women on the bench.
Oh, that's when
Just,
Ian,
like,
Ian
cross your
Schwartz got
fucking legs.
arrested. Ian Schwartz got arrested.
Homewrecker.
You're a psycho.
Shout out to Ian Schwartz.
They took his shoelaces. That was a sign of things to come.
Okay,
Wow.
anything else? Anything else? We've lost all the little guys.
Those cops were right. Hell no. If you're rope game, comment rope gang.
Shout out to Rope Gang.
If you're non-BMX rope game, comment non-BMX rope
Thank
gang.
you to all the non-BMX people that are watching.
Yeah. Shout out LaShawn for
You're really
sitting
for the
tight,
culture.
waiting.
Yeah. He's black, so that'll be way more interesting.
Just
so you
shout
know.
out fucking.
He's more like a
everybody.
rapper.
Not to sound like a dick, but
Yeah,
or
shout
a
out
weird,
everyone.
weird fucking
Yo, everyone is
hippie,
not
but
great.
Get in there,
nah.
get in there.
I shout out everybody. You're all good.
Shout out to the squad. We're about
I
to do
fuck
another
up-
good.
I fuck
good
with
interview right
everybody.
now. I fuck with everyone. How descriptive. Thank God you cleared that up.
Everyone matters.
Everyone matters. Wow, all lives matter. You're gonna drop that one next.
Don't get me started.
Tony Malouf representing the alt right.
Hell no.
Hell nah. I smoke bunts. All right. This has been No Jumper. Thank you very much to everybody who watched this. Please roll up a fucking Zan Blunt and watch the LahSaan Kobza
Yeah, for sure.
podcast next.
Listen to some Jeffrey and fucking follow me on Instagram.
Drink
Hit me
that
up.
stuff your mom keeps under her bed.
Hit me up.
And fuck with Fit Bike Co. and Tony Malouf.
You're
Hell
just
yeah.
flat.
Hey.
Got it in there. I got a piece so bad.
You did! It was great! That was good! Come here! Come here, bro! No one's gonna sit through that. Yeah, they are! They're gonna love you! They're gonna fucking love you! You're great. You take good, man. I'm